So I had this idea, I guess, for lack of a better term, pitched to me by Boy Meets Mini in the fucking Discord and whatnot, and we are taking a look at quote unquote Gen Z's and its relation to traditionalism, because we've been seeing quite a bit of a trend, shall we say, online of a lot of Gen Zers embracing like a return with a V to traditionalism in a way, basically. And the argument that's being laid out here by someone named Ashley Ember. So of course a preamble. Now, have I ever engaged with this individual's content before? No, I have not. But this was pitched to me by Boy Meets Mini, of course, as I mentioned earlier, and we've been seeing this trend, like this, shall we say, trend of like what trad wives and all this nonsense. And I believe the video that I think is similar to this is one by God, I'm blanking on the fucking name. It's the dude who talked about the pickup trucks that we initially took a look at, and also who talked about generational wealth, like about uh parents not understanding the current job market or something. God, I'm blank on the fucking name of the dude, but it'll probably come back to me at some point in time. I'm really
Yeah,
terrible with
I
names.
I gotta look back in the catalog, but anyways,
Yes, and yeah. In
yeah.
any case, so basically, that was the immediate video that I started thinking of, because he also talked about a lot of this like Gen Z tradition of like wanting to return with the V to I don't know of like traditionalism and all this like gobbledygook that a lot of like Gen Zers are generally speaking engaging in. And of course, like the conservatives are going to say it's like because, oh, what do you mean? It's because the kids, they yearn for the culture, for that type of culture or something. I don't think that's really the fucking case at all, right? A lot of this is being born out of something. I don't think like Gen Z is inherently traditional or whatever. I think the biggest problems with Gen Z inherently mostly stems from the fact that they don't have any fucking goddamn the money, to be quite honest. And the main thesis of the I wish I just remembered the fucking goddamn video that we took a look at before. But the basically the main thesis of it is like, no, dude. The biggest problem that a lot of Gen Zers are having is because they're just not really secure in their financial state, and that's like the biggest fucking issue. And that's why they are sort of like trying to return with a V, do traditionalism and all this fucking shit. It's not because they yearn for that particular culture or whatever. It's because no one has any fucking goddamn money. That's the biggest problem. No one has any fucking money, and everyone's just like, well, we need fucking money, guys, in order to be able to survive. And everyone's just like, well, we're basically fucked if we just don't get any goddamn money. And that's the biggest issue, right? Like, the economy is bad, economic prospects are terrible, blah, 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 blah. We've done this whole shtick already in the past before. I don't need to just reiterate that sort of fucking position here. So, if I were to take a guess, that is more than likely what Ashley is going to talk about. If I were to, well, if I were a betting man, of course, which I'm not, but that's just how the saying goes. Want me speaking?
Yeah, and actually, yeah, sure. I'll introduce myself. I'm Boy Meets Mini, aka Critical Racing Theory on YouTube. Yes, I change names on YouTube. How dare I rebrand? That's the
What
Cardinals.
the heck? Rebranding? Oh, that means you did something like edgy or cringy online or something. That's what that means, right?
Yeah, I got canceled, and the Twitlongers came in pretty hard. I got tons of them, and there's
That's
Google
true.
Docs and everything.
That
So
was
yeah,
I did all the Google Docs and all the canceling. That was all me.
we know, we know. Because I got canceled by Tahoe, supposedly, I guess yeah, I got dragged on here. But no, no. The real thing is, I wanted to go over this video in addition to sort of what you were talking about, what I'm really concerned about, because I come from the Christian space. I'm a Christian, and especially in evangelical and right wing spaces, there's constant radicalization toward tradition, or what they call tradition. But it's a very sort of they basically what those people do is they appropriate the scripture to some nostalgic, like, hearkening for the past. We've probably seen some of the tweets and stuff from the White House, social media account, which have
It's
been pretty
all yeah,
unhinged. Where
it's all
Yeah, you've
return.
seen those. I don't need to describe it.
It's all return with a V shit, right?
Yeah.
All return
So
with a V.
there's this like push from institutions, and particularly in the Christian space, and like, and there's like a massive push to like appeal to Gen Z and Gen Alpha in not only churches, but just now they're creating more evangelical spaces outside of the four walls of the church. So like in Hollywood, I think someone recently opened a Christian nightclub, so there's no booze, and it's all like worship music. It's really cringe. I would never go.
Wait,
Like, it's just,
okay.
yeah.
How the what do you okay? There's no what the fuck do you do in a Christian nightclub without any fucking booze? How does that work?
I don't know. I don't know how they like.
How did
I don't know like
how
what
do they
kind of
make
activity.
how do they
Yeah.
fucking generate any revenue or business? They're a
I
nightclub.
mean, that's why I'm not gonna go. I mean, I don't
Doesn't
even drink, and it's not fun. It's not a fun atmosphere, And I don't even drink. Like when I go out, I avoid alcohol. But yeah, I mean, it's just like
they sipping
they're
on that
trying to
holy
like.
juice. That's true.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. They're sipping on the Welch's grape juice. It's so true. Because they don't actually use wine for communion. So, anyways, yeah. So there's that going on, and there's all this like a push for Gen Z to return to tradition. I've covered some content creators on my own channel, on my Twitch as well, about those who people who are like wanting to return to like traditional feminine roles, or men who, obviously there's the whole like incel universe. We've covered that, but yeah, there's like this I've seen with Gen Z and Gen Alpha, because I'm a millennial for context. I'm
Cringe.
mid late 30s, old, yeah, old,
Old,
yeah,
old. He's old.
old,
He's old.
yeah, soy point, he's old, yeah.
He's
Anyways,
old.
but yeah, my point is that the as a millennial, I see this and I'm like, man, I guess, is my generation the most woke? Like, I don't want to do like generational, like, I guess I don't want to generalize, but like, I feel like millennials are the wokest and the best and the greatest. We're the greatest, folks.
Yeah, and yeah.
We're gonna save the world.
Okay, I'll say it actually. Unfortunately, I don't know if. Okay, I don't know if "unfortunately" is the correct term to be necessarily using. Yeah, millennials are the most woke generation.
I told you. You heard it here first. I'm right about something wrong.
Wait,
So
I'm a fucking millennial though. Well, I'm a zillennial. I'm close enough, right?
you're in. We will. You hate on Gen Z enough
I
to
do hate a lot of
skip
Gen
that later.
Zers. It's true.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's basically where I'm sorry, approaching this video from. I'm curious to see like what all, because I've seen a lot of these TikToks, but like I'm curious to see like what angle Ashley comes at it from, whether it's a trauma response. I don't know. Like I don't know. Let's see. I don't know if it's purely that, or like you said, there's like other factors. It's obviously always multiple factors. I'm curious to see what Ashley says. So, yeah.
Let's get into
Without
it.
further ado, let's get into it. Looks like we're starting with the TikTok. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's go.
Oh boy.
Don't know if it's me or if it's the world. Everywhere I look, like everything in my life, I just want it to be old again.
Grandma hobbies are officially making a comeback.
Everyone just wants to stay in all the time and be an old lady.
It's not that deep. It's just a spring dress. Completely ignores how trends reflect our current political moment and how aesthetics and ideology are connected.
2026 is a write-off. It's going to be a year of high energy costs and inflation.
I just filled up my car with gas. $55.
Nearly 80% of Gen Z
Horse and buggy. Oh my god.
millennials are using survival spending just to pay for basic needs.
Should we start stockpiling food personally at home?
Okay,
Knowing that
like
people are about to
I just want to like stop it for a sec because I know I've seen some like people knitting, for example. That's something that I've already seen happen in like my private school with like some people just deciding to just do like some knitting, and it wasn't like a return with a V, like a traditionalism kind of a thing. They just kind of wanted to knit just because they wanted to. Well, mostly because So for those who don't know, I came from a fucking private school, so a lot of fucking goddamn rich kids and whatnot.
Oh my
And
god.
yeah, a lot of them just like did knitting because they just wanted to learn how to knit. I don't know, because they wanted to like make like nice things for like friends of theirs or something. Like it's whatever, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's like a return, if it's all about like we will return with a V to knitting or and whatnot. It's like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, and the other thing as well with around that is because I went to public school, but I also grew up evangelical, so I know some. I don't talk to many of them anymore. A lot of them are just turned out to be stupid racists, so I just don't talk to them. And so some of them I stayed in touch, and like they some of them like tried to live this very traditional lifestyle. Like they get married at 20, they to somebody, and then the marriage is really, really tumultuous, and then they end up divorcing at 25. Like every person I know who got married young divorced, all of them. I don't think any of them lasted.
Oh yeah, I
They
mean,
tried to live.
well, yeah, because they're not really given the fucking proper tools to maintain a relationship like that. Let's be honest, right?
That plus your brain's not fully wired. Yeah. So and also at 20 you're working like you're either going to university or you're working like an entry level job at best. It's very, very difficult. Or you're rich.
Whoa, we don't
It's
know.
it's
Wait,
one of
hold
those.
on. What about our base nepo babies? Come on, Boy Meets Spinny.
I mean, yeah, or you're rich, you're a nepo baby, yeah. Which none of them, I think one of them was, and then the other two were just sort of like normal, sort of middle class background or whatever. But yeah, like all the people I know who tried to do the trad thing back then, because this was like, well, I grew up in the aughts to 2010s, and so basically around that time, that's where a lot of the sort of trad stuff was more within the church. It wasn't like out on the internet as much, right? Because it burst onto the internet in like 2015, 2016, around the time Trump came into office. But before that, it was more in sort of Christian spaces. And of course, there was the whole like, Christian revival of the 2000s. So there was still that. And so basically a lot of these people were like trying to live that sort of traditional life. The husband goes to work, the wife stays at home, maintaining the house, cooking, whatever, raising kids. And yeah, it just doesn't last long. Because for a number of reasons I don't have to explain probably. But I feel like what's happening here, and like your example with knitting, or like for my example, say like cooking or whatever, or homemaking. I feel like a lot of those arts and crafts or hobbies, they get absorbed by these cultural movements, right? And they get appropriated, and they're used to try to push a narrative onto the next generation. You see what I mean? Like it's sort of, it gets propagandized, and it's like okay, now that's not fun anymore. It's like, okay, I just want to knit. I just want to, I don't know, make sweaters for friends or for people who don't have in my community, and just be generous. But then now, if I let's say I was a woman and I started knitting, I would get called a trad wife, by a bunch of people. It's like, no, I just enjoy knitting. I'm woke. But it's like
Whoa,
it's like now
being woke? What are you, cringe?
yeah, I know, so cringe. Being woke in the big 26, yeah,
That's
what are
true.
you doing? Pronouns in bio, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you, fucking cringe or something? That's true.
Yeah, but final point, I guess, with this is like I feel like a lot of these sort of hobbies, I mean, these things are good to do. Like for example, I'm not, I mean the fashion stuff, but like, yeah, okay. Gardening, that's good for you. Having a green thumb is good for you. And it's good to know how to do it. It's a good life skill, preserving food, making preserves, pickling, like that kind of stuff is really good. Like doing this is awesome. The problem is like now it's been like appropriated for trad wifery and by propagandists, which I really hate. So, and I feel like Gen Z is sort of like making this part of their identity. They're starting to, and there's multiple factors, like I said, but yeah, that is one of the things I'm concerned about is like they're saying, oh, I garden, but I also hate trans people. I garden, but I also only want traditional marriage and I'm a virgin until the wedding day or whatever. It's like, oh my God, it's not that deep.
True.
So anyways,
yeah,
I'm
like,
seeing this at Gen Z and yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, like I started seeing like community gardens in my like neighborhood when I was like living back in Ottawa, and it was like because it was like mostly like a poor neighborhood, like
Mm.
kind of like projects kind of a thing, but like not exactly. We don't have exactly like the same thing as like projects or like Section 8 housing in Canada. It's kind of similar, but yeah, it's shit like that specifically, where it's just like, oh well, here's the poor housing or some shit, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's I mean, I guess it's a good thing to have, but I guess now if you go garden in the community garden, you're trad wife caught. Anyways,
Yeah, I guess or something.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right, let's see. I think we were here somewhere. Okay, yeah.
Millions of people are about to lose their jobs. They're about to lose their homes. They're going to lose everything they have. Kids are going to be food insecure. We are looking at economic.
What is this? Are we twirling rifles now? Oh my god.
Dude, it's the bro wants to go into like a marching band or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Tsunami.
This whole thing has gotten out of hand.
Gen Z was supposed to be the digital generation, raised in the heyday of the internet, defined by convenience, speed, and automation. But somewhere along the way, they traded their algorithms for fermentation. From the rise of homesteading and made-from-scratch meals to gingham dresses in the garden, vintage tech, and even cozy crafts, the vibe has completely flipped. So much so that if you squint, Gen Z and a retired woman from 1952 are living surprisingly similar lives. Gen Z didn't just suddenly wake up and decide that they want to be like their grandparents. No, somewhere along the way, their priorities changed between rising grocery bills, the endless global conflicts, and a general sense that the future feels unstable. And so what's being labeled as Gen Z's return to traditionalism is really anything but traditional, rather a response to a world that's essentially pushing them out. So that is what we're going to be talking about today, why Gen Z is rebelling against the modern world, and how they've ended up in a culture that essentially romanticizes fending for yourself.
Okay, this is the exact same video I've seen before. I've definitely seen this video before. God, I'm trying to remember what's the name of the fucking content creator who made the video, because it was talking specifically about generational wealth, if I recall correctly. Let me see if I can find the name real quick.
Yeah, I think I've just pulling it up here. I believe it was this video. This was a while ago. The financial diet. That's who it was. Yes, it was the financial diet.
No, it wasn't the financial diet.
Okay.
No, it was not them. It was someone else. It was a dude. Although I've also taken a look at that video from the financial diet, but it's like you're being gaslit by generational wealth. It's not that. It wasn't about generational wealth. It's talking specifically about the era that we're in right now. It was a guy, long curly hair. He works as an economy professor. I'm like hardcore fucking blanking on his name.
Damon Cassidy.
No.
Not Damon Cassidy, really.
Who the fuck is Damon Cassidy?
I thought he makes those kind of videos. Like he talks about this.
No,
but
it's
maybe related.
Let me see. Pickup trucks.
What? Yeah.
Dude made a fucking video about pickup trucks, basically. Urgently Firing. There we go. That's the name of the guy. It's that dude.
Okay.
Urgently Firing made basically the exact same fucking video about generation, how Gen Z, as a byproduct of all the unstable sort of situation right now with global conflict, gas prices, the economy, yada yada yada, and the fact that Gen Z is potentially slated to get a massive increase in that wealth because of the boomers mostly dying off, for example, right? Mm-hmm. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
And Urgently Firing is hitting on basically all the exact same points, talking about well, a lot of Gen Z is doing this return with a V to traditionalism and whatnot. And it's not a byproduct of the culture shifting, as most conservatives would say. It's not. No. It's not because of cultural shifts. Maybe for some of them, yeah, sure, but no, it's socio-economics is what it is in reality. And Urgently Firing went through a ton of differing statistics as to why, well, Gen Z feels like they are in desperate throes, I'd say, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, and it's just I'm just curious, because again, coming from Christian spaces, I'm just curious as to why these older aesthetics are making a reappearance. I guess maybe they'll talk about it here, but I feel like this is taking hold in Gen Z because they, I guess, want to rebel against the tech industry as well to a degree, right? Because technology has not served them, right?
Maybe,
It's the
yeah.
broken promise of prosperity from technology, and I guess they're sort of like, this is their Luddite move. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
I can see that potentially being an
Mm-hmm.
angle. I think, um, here's a better way to think of it. Actually, I got a brain blast. Video games.
Mm.
Video games. Lots of nostalgia cuckoldry is done in video gaming all the fucking time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of nostalgia baiting. Same with general media. How many movies have been doing shows have been doing live action remakes of old faithful products? How many of them have been going on right now? Going up on Netflix, going up in terms of movies. Those are like the only media properties that you see whatsoever going up, and nothing really new is being experimented. And why is that the case? Because those are safe, right? That's a byproduct of, again, hyper commodification of media, right? I think that's where a lot of this quote unquote nostalgia cuckoldry is coming from. And it's not really a cultural shift. I think it's because we know a lot of like culture is unfortunately produced by capitalists. It is what it is. We live in a highly commodified world. And that is where I think it's mostly being born out of. It's shall we say, a projection of the not the media environment itself, but like the sort of like maybe like environment around the general socioeconomic problems that's also been compounded by the media as well. I think it's like multiple fucking factors. I do think a lot of it is pushed forward by socioeconomics, but I think it's also like this sort of like return with the V, like fascistic, like nostalgia cuckoldry thing as well. I think that also has like a huge fucking play into it as well.
Yeah, and I like that you described it as fascistic. We'll continue with the video after this, but like I like that you described it as fascistic because it is sort of this reinforcing of hierarchy that it's kind of like it's like the devil that you know versus the devil you don't, right? So
what was
a lot
successful
of
back in the golden age of America, the 50s.
Oh yeah,
that's what was
50s.
Successful. But no one knows the reason why it was successful. Did you say 90s?
No, the 80s as well, right? Because there was evangelical revival in the 80s, so it was pretty successful back then. And so, but yeah, I mean, it was successful because of ding ding socialism or social programs, and the government, redistributing wealth a lot better back then than it used to, than it does today. But yeah, I feel like people are. I feel like with, like you said, this fascistic sort of grasp for control, right? I guess in one's life, and also for everybody to be sort of the same, right? For everybody to be sort of cookie cutter of each other. So, there's no diversity, only comfort and sameness, and like you see how I think there's been some recent videos about like how there's less color in everything now. Like if you look at the color palette of modern media overall and graph it, it's narrower, right, than it used to be.
Interesting.
So everything's becoming more beige, more gray, like furniture. For example, I don't really like how my apartment's decorated, right? Because when you rent an apartment, you get what you get, and it's like white walls, it's walnut floors, it's white cabinets. It's like, no, I want some color, I want some life. And so who knows, maybe I'll find a better place. But yeah,
just like how there's dead internet theory, it's now dead color theory, right? Is that like a meme or something? I don't know.
Something like that. But anyways, yeah, there like all this stuff is like coalescing, and it worries me. Yeah,
that's true, Clay. There used to be color on a lot of cars. That's actually a really good point there, Clay. I'm gonna be honest.
Last point there, but yeah,
a lot of it, I think, has come from fucking automobiles, right? Like
that's
think about it.
Yes.
Think about it. Like cars in the 1950s used to have so many fucking colors and everything, and where's that gone? Well, good luck getting a fucking custom color on your I don't know, fucking car now, right? Like that never happens, right? That's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, I drive a bright orange, bright yellow Mini Cooper, and I stand out like a sore thumb. But it's also cool, so I'm cool with it. So
that's true.
Anyways, let's continue. Grandma chic. Oh boy, this is. I'm already feeling old.
So if you haven't been keeping up with the times, living like our grandparents is the hottest trend with the kids right now.
What did I do at the weekend? Oh, I had such a lovely time. Started my new book. I do also love a coffee, but it's got to be decaf now. Yeah, I don't sleep.
Oh my God, I hate to see younger people go through. Just as an older man, as somebody older, I hate to see younger people do this to themselves. Like, dude.
Much impact on culture. This one seems different because it's not just a trend, it's a shift in lifestyle. We see it influencing current fashion trends where clothing is shifting towards more modest forms.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing as well. So modesty, this whole push toward modesty, by the way, I mean, obviously a lot of it, I mean, yeah, from the 1950s, but like the maintenance of it and trying to push it back into mainstream culture, like the right wing has been trying to do that since the 70s, because the 60s and 70s you had the sexual revolution and the Me generation, right? With all the like colors and fashion and all that stuff, and more open expression of let's say if you're queerness, right? So now it's like a lot of clothing now is modest, it's monotone, it's it's not as form fitting, it's sort of it's the silhouette's a lot simpler, etc. Like, I'm talking fashion terms, I'm sort of going a little high fashion there.
Yeah, okay, Vosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Vosh.
Yeah. Except I don't. Except my hard drive's a lot better, cleaner than his. much cleaner than his.
Whoa,
so, anyways, that drama aside. Yes, I know. I don't have a taxes folder. So, anyways, I've seen that clothing is getting less colorful. It's funny because actually, just personal story. For my birthday, I went out. We had some dinner with family friends, and I have this like I got it in India. It's like this. Really, it's a really colorful sort of Indian style like shirt. It's kind of like a hybrid between like traditional clothing and Western clothing. It's cut a little shorter and stuff than a long like kurta or a long gown basically that men over there wear. But it's like embroidered and everything. And I wore it out, and people were giving me weird looks. I'm like, or some people gave me like, oh, that looks really good, and then other people were giving me like strange looks, like, what's he wearing, and like everybody there was like wearing white or wearing gray or brown or whatever. It's like, and I was like the one like I guess dash of color in the room, and it felt really really I felt really out of place. Like, as much as I like wearing clothes like that, I felt so out of place. And doing that, it was a very very strange feeling on my birthday of all things. But,
they thought you were metrosexual posting or something. I bet.
Yeah,
or some shit like that.
What? They were like, "Why are you gay?
Why
are you gay?
Why are you gay?
Who says I am gay?"
You
Anyways, by the way, I'm ace. For anyone wondering. So yeah, I have seen that, and yeah, this is something even here in LA. In LA, LA is known for colorful, sort of forward-thinking fashion. Even here, it's pretty bad.
Well, I think also another thing with it is that a lot of clothes made back in those days was way higher quality.
Yes.
Way higher quality in comparison to what's now. Listen, we're bringing in the fucking Marxist analysis, guys. Like a fast fashion and its fucking consequences. Wait, Daho, are you telling me that everything being hyper commodified in the way that it is making it such that people want to return to a V to like higher quality stuff? No, people actually want to have high quality fucking items that last for a long time. But unfortunately, since we live in hyper commodified fuck yousville, actually no, everything has to like instantaneously like get wrecked after like maybe like a couple weeks or two, so then you can go back to the store and buy some more cheap fucking clothing because it's all about turning a profit.
Oh yeah, and it's almost like we're going back to like the days of like Clay talking in YouTube chat about automobiles. We're almost going back to Henry Ford, like way back in the speaking of fascism, Henry Ford. We're almost going back to those days where you can have it in any color as long as it's black. It's essentially what's going on. Yeah. So. But anyways, yeah, I'm noticing this in a lot of things, and yeah, when I'm wearing colorful stuff, or I'm out there driving a Mini Cooper amongst like a bunch of gray Tesla SUVs, I stick out. So I guess yeah,
fucking Teslas and shit.
There's too many of them here, bro.
God.
Anyways, Yeah, they look at you like a poison dart frog. Exactly. They look at you as poison rather than, oh, that guy's having a good time. You know, he's a fun guy, whatever. You know, or they're a fun person. Like they look at you as almost like an anomaly. It's really sad.
Yada yada, the byproducts of a low trust society and shit.
Oh yeah, very low trust.
Since, I don't know, the 60s, I'm assuming, dresses are getting longer, blouses are back in fashion, and hair bows are a must-have accessory. So much so that it's split down into the fast fashion brands like Shein and H&M, all pushing frills, puffy sleeves, and flowing skirts in their latest drops. I am Exhibit A. All pointing to the little house
We live in the Fallout universe, don't we? Retrofuturism, baby.
on the prairification, if we can call it that, of the modern woman, hypnotized by the highly polished, idealized homemaker.
Oh, I recognize
this I know this motherfucker as well. I know her as well. Didn't she like make a fucking Coke by hand or some shit?
Yeah, she made like she like homebrewed soda or something, right?
I'm like, it's like, dude, that's just like so much fucking like, I mean, listen, more power to you, bud, but like, god damn, that looks like so much fucking work for.
Yeah, I'd rather make lemonade. I'd rather lemonade's easier.
There's so many easier things that you could make. Like honestly, like okay.
Homebrewed fentanyl. I mean, that's already a thing. But...
Yeah, listen, fentanyl's already being homebrewed. Okay, that shit's already homebrewed.
Yeah, just go to the just go anywhere. Go to
New Mexico and find your bald chemist.
Yeah, or I mean, there's coastal California, but then if you go inland from coastal California, that's the sweet spot for that. Okay, I'm just telling you right now. Not that I consume any.
I don't know. Why do you have that information, Boy Meets Media? It's a little sus.
Listen, you live in California long enough, you figure out. Oh yeah, that's Bakersfield. You know, yeah.
Kind of sus. He's a fent maxer. Literally Trevor from GTA 5. Unironically.
Yeah, I caught. Anyways,
creators like Narsmith and Hannah Nealman, who have risen to the rank of the most influential women online over the past few years.
Hey. Good day. What a lovely home you have. It smells of additives and preservatives.
Can I get you anything?
Just some water from your well will do.
Going further into this movement.
Oh my god. I mean, I get it. It's kind of it's an act or whatever, but still, it's everywhere.
You also have to live in a cottagecore dream of a home. I swear no shift has ever felt more dramatic than the whiplash of going from millennial gray homes to today's Nancy Meyer-inspired, cozy knick-knack-filled interiors. This is without a doubt
I wonder what these people would think of solar punk.
They might call it woke. I don't know. They might like it. They might like it just because of the
solar punk
how
is the
natural
same thing.
Is.
Solar punk is the exact same fucking thing, but not cringe. Well, not that this is necessarily cringe. Like, I mean, yeah, little knickknacks everywhere and all this fucking bullshit. No more like boring ass like gray shit. I mean, look at my fucking dumbass room. But that's mostly because I have
look at us.
Yeah, look at us. But that's because I'm too poor to fucking decorate anything. I don't have money to decorate stuff. You need money for that shit. I don't have money. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, exactly. And even like just example, because from I'm originally from India. You know, in India, houses have character. You've probably seen how Indian houses look and the decorations and like the different.
You motherfuckers have unironic like festival of colors.
Yeah, we have a festival dedicated to colors, and obviously it's a Hindu festival, but yeah, like everyone celebrates it. We have a festival of lights. We like Diwali. That's the Hindu New Year, and so because of that. In India, a lot of houses have aura there. Like you go there, there's all kinds of really cool colors, textures. People use, teak wood, jute, jute for like threads and quilts and stuff. It like everything looks really cool. But now in India, when you look at new properties that get built, like new apartment buildings, new houses, they have this like modern sort of the same as like basically like this, and it looks really boring, and so people in India actually, like younger people in India are like not liking that change. They actually want to go, there's kind of a similar thing happening in India where they want to go back to how their grandmother's house used to look. It's really interesting what's happening there as well, because in India, as you probably have heard recently, if you thought the job situation was bad in North America or in Europe, oh boy, India is far worse. They have way more youth unemployment. They have a lot of brain drain, and that's been happening for years, particularly bad now with H-1B and everything. I mean, not that I'm against Indians coming here. Obviously, I want people to be able to freely move for opportunities and stuff, but like H-1B is exploitative and causes brain drain, right, from other places. So and it's, you know, it's motivated not by free movement but by capital, right, capital interests. So anyways, but like what I'm seeing is, because in India the situation is so dire, young people over there really want like to live in something like their grandma's house. So it's a very interesting sort of
they want to return with a V
thing. Yeah, there's sort of its own brand over there of returning with the V. But yeah, it should be called Pinterest Court. Yeah, it's funny, Warframe Sensei. Like, it's very funny how younger people are like rejecting the technology, but then they're using social media to promote this aesthetic, right? It's very interesting. Like, they're still using the tech to, you know, to influence. So it's still done through influencer, you know.
I mean, by
channels.
the way, most of the people that do this shit, they are very well off. It's mostly wealthy people that do shit like this.
Yeah, content creators are nepo babies for the most part. That's true.
Whoa! So. I'm not a nepo baby. Okay, don't give me that accusation. That's crazy.
Not all content creators.
Yeah, hashtag not all content creators. Okay.
Yeah.
I am a true proletarian.
That's true. Yeah, the return of video cassettes, video stars. Oh, by the way, Clay, here in LA, there's one last thing. There's actually two, because in LA we do this thing called themed bars. Like, we have the Scum and Villainy Cantina for Star Wars nerds, very nerdy. And then they have what they did. They took an old adult video store from the 80s. It actually used to be one, and the owner had a bunch of tapes. Had all the tapes from when he originally closed the shop down. So they reopened the store as a nightclub and a bar. It's pretty cool. So, but then there's like there's like but like the nightclub, they still have like the shelves of cassettes and stuff. It's really fun. I've been there. And then there's another one that is just like a Blockbuster, Blockbuster video rental. So but it's a bar. Like, you go there, get your drinks. They have like sofas and tube televisions and VCRs, and you can watch, like, you know, movies in 4:3. It's so cool.
Let's play some Melee. So think about it.
There you go. Oh yeah, I forget if they had an NES there or not. That would be cool if they did.
No,
but anyways,
NES for Melee. Okay, relax.
No.
Not that far back. Okay? this isn't the original Super Smash Bros. All right, Jesus.
I know. I'm going way back. Yeah. Yeah, they have Record Store Day and stuff like that here in LA as well. But yeah, vinyl is starting to sell a lot more. But yeah, like, basically, it's funny though that all this traditional stuff is being channeled through the same old thing that Gen Z claims they hate, which is technology. Very, very interesting. So, and I guess, again, it's probably their primary social outlet now, right? Because third places are dead.
Yeah, well, exactly. Which is that's a problem in of itself. We've talked about the sort of byproducts and consequences of that. It's just obviously this is not a good thing. I do not think that social media should be anyone's primary fucking social outlet, but whatever. Unfortunately, this is the conditions that we have right now.
Yep. So, anyways, let's see these interiors. Oh boy.
The biggest home decor trend you were going to see in 2026. Grandma Court is huge right now. It might be even as big as Joanna Gaines' farmhouse was about 10 years ago. I feel like one thing that
I remember. I don't know if you in Canada if you got the TV show, but I don't know if you know the Gaines couple. They were on like
watch TV. I never watched the fucking Houses channel, I think, or HGTV, I think it was. I don't fucking watch that shit. I mostly watch Discovery.
Yeah, no. Well, my mom loved this. She used to love watching it. She's kind of fallen out of it as well, but like she used to love watching HGTV, and so a lot of moms do. Everyone's mom does. So there was this one couple on there. They were, I think their name was Gaines, the last name, the Gaines couple, a Gaines family, and so they Wait,
really?
Gaines, yeah.
What the heck? That's crazy.
But they were like.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but they were I forget the original name of their first show. They did a bunch of spin-off shows. So basically, what their business was flipping houses, and they were in like Central Texas somewhere. I think they were in like Austin or somewhere like that. But they were flipping houses for people, and so that was their business. And so they had like a design studio, and their aesthetic was very much this. They were like And this is like you're talking late aughts, 2010s, that era, like basically during Obama, Obama era, right?
Obunga.
It was around that time. And so it's funny how we talk about eras with presidents. Very funny. But yeah, it was during the Obama era, Obama years. And so they were flipping houses with these kind of aesthetics, or like countryside, like Texas Roadhouse aesthetics and things like that. And it was interesting because I feel like they were like sort of on the ground floor of this whole like return to tradition with the V. I think they were some of the first like mainstream to really push it with design, because it's like everything else at that time was becoming minimalist and they were fighting against that. Yeah, I remember that, and that's what this reminds me of. But yeah, that's sort of, I guess, the source of it or one of the sources.
Right.
Yeah.
Universally itching for in 2026 is spaces that feel more unique to them.
This is never more evident than in the flood of hate comments on any video where someone paints over natural wood with white.
A word.
Oh yeah, if you paint anything white, you get tons of hate now.
Whoever painted these beautiful solid wood doors in my house, I'm mad at you.
But in their defense, literally everyone was doing this in the 2010s, so much so that it was practically a religious practice to walk around garage sales with a paintbrush in hand, ready to whitewash anything with character. And going
Oh my God. Yeah, which I also hate that, like, have some color, it's good to live. I like to live in a colorful space, although I haven't been. That's probably why I'm not the happiest. I don't know. You've noticed that thrift stores have seen an uptick. Well, I mean, that's partially the economy, but also people are buying old
that's been a
clothes
thing
and
for a
stuff.
while. I've been even in like my fucking
Thrifting's
times during
huge,
private
man.
school, and with like the private schoolers that I fucking knew, they would thrift all the fucking time.
A Zenith monophonic color TV from 82. Nice. I bet you find a ton of Trinitrons there too. Those are some of the clearest tube TVs you can get. Like that was like right before flat screens came out. We had a Trinitron for years, and that thing was amazing. So.
from that to everyone restoring wood cabinetry on TikTok is a big jump. So while I personally would have never thought that the trendy homes of today would be so old-fashioned and doily-coded, here we are. Basically, the more grandma-core your home, the chicer you are. But you can't just take on the aesthetic of Anne of Green Gables, you have to do the work. Meaning that homesteading practices are all the rage these days because
yeah, you can't just LARP. You have to actually LARP. This is the LARP. Here we go.
Organic veggies in hand and your milkmaid dress blowing in the wind.
Is anyone else constantly thinking this? Because my dream I've made it scenario in life is to live on a few acres of land, and we have chickens and goats and pigs and cats and dogs, and my babies grow up on a cute like homestead little farm.
Across the country, people in their 20s and 30s are buying land, starting gardens, learning to can vegetables, grind wheat.
Well, okay, I don't know that a lot of people are buying
serfdom.
land.
We're returning to serfdom. Let's go. Let's
go. We're returning to the Tsarist era Russia. No, I'm just kidding. But, well, are we? Oh, we're kind of already there. But yeah. Well, I don't. How many people are really buying land though, or are they just like inheriting land from like fam? I'm wondering. Like, it's probably just like the top 10% of people in their 20s and 30s.
Probably,
like most Gen Zers can't even think about buying land, let alone a condo. So yeah, no, I feel like this is top 10%, and they're like the sort of influencer class, so to speak, and then everybody else is like they wish there's sort of FOMO about it. I think what's happening is there's a lot of FOMO around this. With most of Gen Z.
Well, I mean, it's like also they want to own a fucking home own a home sort of in like the middle of buttfuck nowheresville because it's where it's cheaper. But then they do like, okay, funnily enough, Vosh has talked about this concept before. Oof. Where all of the it's actually like very much so the opposite way, because I guarantee you the people who are expressing this opinion of wanting to return with the V, city kids.
Oh yeah, there's like a backlash.
Yep. They want to go out and live in the rural, unironic, like third world shitholes that exist in the United States of America. I do not apologize. Fuck you, rural. Rural.
No, it sucks. Okay? I agree. As an American, I agree. And rural areas are dire straits.
And all of the kids who live in rural areas, they're just like, get me out, 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 constantly. And every time, like, Vosh, for example, goes on, like, one of these, like, super ruraloid sort of rants where he's just like, man, fuck these like dumbass rural peasants. Unironically, these motherfuckers make the lives of everybody worse for no reason because of their fucking goofy looking racist head asses. A lot of people, generally speaking, get mad at him in his like subreddit constantly. You want to know who the people who do not get mad at him over that? The people who actually live there.
Yeah, in the rural areas. Because they know the reality.
Yeah, they know the reality. It sucks. It's awful.
Yeah.
And they constantly beg, like, I wish I had the resources to move to a city. Oh my god. It'd be so much better. Because they've been living there their whole lives. And it's just what? It's either like, I don't know, like electricity shit, like the plumbing's bad, everything, it's all old, it's terrible, it's barely kept up because there's no reason to keep it up because there's no money to be made in that fucking area. It's poor, it's highly underinvested. Good luck having any job prospects in that fucking area. Hey, city dipshits, guess what? You want to live in those fucking rural areas, that retro shit you want? Good luck fucking finding any fucking work out there, okay? You're not gonna get shit, guaranteed. But all these motherfuckers are just like, I want to return with the V to being like a rural trad wife or whatever the fuck. It's like,
yeah, they want to live
do,
a Lifetime movie, which isn't real. Lifetime movies are not reality. I'm sorry. they want to live a Lifetime movie. You know.
Yeah. It's very sweet. It's very cringe, and I hate it.
I wonder if we're seeing this effect in the suburbs too, because I wonder if like a lot of kids just want to get out of the suburbs and like, you know, ditch the sort of very super convenient lifestyle that the suburbs give you and you know, reject that and go out to the countryside. I wonder if there's that effect too, because I personally grew up in the suburbs and I went in a obviously very white, being a brown kid in a mostly white school, and so the thing there is like I wanted to go to the city, and now I live in the city and I really like it. Actually, I like it, the city of LA. Now, is it New York? No, it's not Afghanistan. I wish one day, inshallah, one day. But the thing is that I feel like kids in the suburbs are also wanting to live out in the countryside. Like they want to get out of the sort of, you know, super convenient, you know, cushy life that it gives you.
Listen, there is a reason why I constantly say suburbs are a crime against humanity.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 1000%. Like
we're social creatures, and suburbs are highly socially isolating. They are a crime against humanity, like unironically, and that's what it's produced. It's this, trad LARP.
Yeah, people just want to live life. I think underscoring all of it, people just want to live life, but they're like channeling it through all these aesthetics and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably keep going.
Keep going. We need to get them to
clothes and fix what breaks instead of throwing it away, which I just think is so funny. Mind you, I'm making fun of myself as well. Just the other week, while in my milkmaid dress, I asked Josh if we should get ducks, but I'm not the only one. I bet just about everyone in my age group has muttered the words, "Should I get chickens?" since 2020.
This is a dream that I have had since lunch, and I'm not giving up on it now.
But overall, everything homestead, from the sourdough starters to the livestock and of course the gardening, is trending, which I want to mention. Gardening used to be a niche hobby. Like, as surprising as that might seem now, gardening was never cool. Literally no one wanted to grow their own food in 2018. If you told someone 5 years ago that Gen Z would be obsessing over knitting circles and sourdough starters, they'd probably laugh, but here we are. So this overarching cultural shift has been growing and evolving over the past 6 years under different names and forms, and it's all rooted in the past. We started with cottagecore in 2020, then came the tradwives in 2021, followed by an array of micro trends, including the soft girl era under consumption core, and as of recent, grandma core. All across the country, Gen Z are turning to the rituals and lifestyles of their parents and grandparents, known as the grandma trend. It is a phenomenon where young adults utilize tendencies, memories, or hobbies that represent motherly figures in their lives, and use them at a young age instead of socializing with others their age. Instead of bar hopping or drinking until 2 in the morning, they prioritize self-care, relaxation, and nostalgic rituals.
Okay, this is a good point, by the way. This is a very, very good point, because again, we talked about this before. Death of third places. Good luck. Like, if you're a fucking kid, lives in the burbs, you don't have a car, you don't have gas to pay, you don't have insurance. Good luck with all that shit. That's incredibly fucking expensive. How the fuck are you gonna get to a bar? How are you gonna bar hop unless you're already living in the city with like good public, like, you don't live in New York. Most of these guys don't fucking live in New York. They live in a shithole fucking suburb. That's what it is, right? And this is sort of like the byproduct and like consequences of the and I've talked about this before, the socially isolating sort of factors that the suburbs fucking cause. There's a reason why I call that shit an unironic crime against humanity, and whoever designed the concept of the suburb, I think should be thrown in the fucking Hague. They should go to fucking jail.
Robert Moses, and I guess everyone in his cadre, I guess. Yeah, Robert Moses and company. Yeah,
all of them go to jail. 1000%.
Straight to jail.
You have unironically created the conditions that have made humanity worse. Unironically, worse.
Mm-hmm.
And all these people, right, who have created this sort of dynamic, have made it such that now people want to do this return with the V homesteading stuff because of potentially even further socially isolate themselves, right? Is what I'm seeing mostly, because that's what this cottagecore sort of shit does, or basically because if because everyone has a fucking cottage up here in Canada, okay? Because we have a lot of open land, lots of natural forests and shit like that. You just go up to Northern Ontario and shit like that, right? Lots of fucking people with cottages, especially if you're richer. You probably have a goddamn cottage that you go to for a week or two in the summer or whatever to hang out with family or friends or whatever, what have you, right? And it's very rural and it's very fucking isolated, right? And it's that's a fun thing you can do every now and again or whatever. Sure, you can do that. That's fine. That's not the contention that I'm having. The thing is that if we want to fix these sort of problems, for example, of social fucking isolation, right? Further isolating yourself in a fucking cottage in a rural fucking backwater is not going to help. It's gonna exacerbate the problem. It's gonna make it worse.
Yeah, and I guess you could kind of say that this hearkening back for the nostalgia is sort of okay, I'm already alone, whatever, let me make the best of it, kind of, I guess, so to speak. That seems to be what's happening here is they're trying to make the best of social isolation and make it I don't know, not draining at least, but I feel this is going to drain people in other sinister ways, right? This is going to drain you even further because you'll be so isolated, you'll be locked into this very, very disciplined routine. You're not going to have any sort of recreation or any no whimsy in your life. I guess that's the term everyone's using now, is whimsy. But yeah, you lose that whimsy. I feel what this is fake whimsy.
Friends?
Bigger point. Yeah. What social circle?
Yeah, social circle. What you're gonna use social media or Discord to try to replace the social circles? That's not necessarily gonna work. I mean, if anything, that's kind of what brought this sort of malaise that we currently find ourselves under. That's not how that works.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, and the fact that it's framed as self-care, relaxation, and ritual, it's that's behind it,
it's a lot of work.
No,
it's these people are romanticizing very heavily, very, very heavily.
Yep.
Having a coop with a coop with a couple chickens. Because I know a couple people who have chickens and stuff like that. It's whatever, right? But the whole community garden with all the animals, the homesteading stuff, dude. You people are living in a fantasy land. This is actually very, very difficult. There's a lot of work that you need to be able to put into that. And that shouldn't be something that's done isolated, right? Even back in the times of feudalism, of serfdom, it was a community effort. It was towns who did this. It wasn't individuals in homes that did this. It was towns that did this, that worked those farms, worked those animals. People who specialized in butchering meat or taking care of those animals or whatever, or tilling the crops and whatnot. That was a communal effort, not an individualistic effort. So we're doing the whole sort of American LARP shit of individualism and all this fucking nonsense. It's that's not how this works with this particular sort of environment. It's a community effort. You can't disregard community effort when it comes to stuff like this.
1000%. There we go. All right. So I think there's a lot more. Let's get to it.
Is rewriting the playbook of how to spend your 20s, stepping away from the live fast, die young or YOLO mindsets of previous generations.
Live fast, die young, have a good looking corpse.
Long-standing patterns with the youth, like drinking alcohol, smoking, and teenage pregnancy, are all at record lows, which, is a good thing, but it's not necessarily...
Yeah, but the pastors are saying, "Oh, the teens are doing this." It's like their narratives are stuck in the 1980s. Like, "Oh, the teens are smoking, drinking, drugs, this, that." It's like they're not really doing that anymore, dude. They're doing exactly what you asked them to do, and they're depressed and they're desperate. Like, so I feel like clergy are really to blame here. Like, I am not going to be soft on them for this at all. Like, they are really to blame, in a big way, especially in more suburban and places or more like red states, quote unquote, so to speak. Yeah, clergy are a big factor in this because clergy, obviously, with Christian media, there has been like, even if like our mainstream media is more secular, there is a lot of, especially now, it's sort of coming back, of this sort of Christo-fascist influence in the secular media, that's infiltrating in a lot of ways. And so yeah, I feel like this is one manifestation of it. And so like now the pastors will say, "Oh, why are they not they're they'll be like, "Oh, my son or my daughter, yeah, they don't drink, they don't smoke, they don't have any bad habits, but they also aren't married yet," and it's like,
my mom unironically
maybe
does that shit as well.
I know.
Yeah, she does that shit constantly.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, you taught them how to isolate themselves so much that you wonder why they're not looking for anyone, or they don't have community, or anything, they don't have anyone to talk to. It's like, so yeah, I think they are definitely to blame. I will not hold
I blame
back on
Nancy
that
Reagan. That's who I choose to blame. Fuck you.
So true.
Fuck you,
Nancy Reagan.
Fuck
Billy
you, Nancy
Graham.
Reagan. Fuck these people. I hate them.
Yes.
And you should hate them as
Yep.
well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, only 27% of men report having 6 or more close friends. 15% have none. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, there's a lot of isolation, particularly for men, but yeah, it's like across the board. Like, isolation, I feel like, is increasing across the board, even for women. So that's not good.
Coming from a wholesome place of a generation-wide push to better themselves. It's simply that their current lifestyle doesn't lead to these outcomes. We know a big influence on this is the loneliness epidemic, where they just literally aren't going out with friends, but also in how they are the most health-conscious generation yet, often latching on to whatever health trend is popular.
This probably, and with Maha, and well, I guess not so much Maha, but a lot of like alternative medicine, quote unquote, is catching on. This could be part of the reason why it's catching on as well.
Hyper-focusing on seed oils, protein powders,
He is a liar, as you say? Well, absolutely. Why did you work for him? Savannah, slow down.
On top of that, all the hottest Gen Z hobbies these days are primarily home-based and often stereotyped as grandma hobbies, like knitting, birdwatching, puzzling, gardening, and baking. I swear everyone on my Instagram right now is knitting a sweater. And so putting all of that together, for most of Gen Z, a quiet night in and a good night's sleep often wins over staying up all night partying. As this Gen Zer shares, it's 8 p.m. on a Friday. Dinner of spaghetti and meatballs have been cooked, served, and put away. The kitchen has been cleaned. I have showered and moisturized and settled down on the couch with my crocheted blanket and a black and white cat named Maple. With a cup of mint tea in hand, made with my blue tea kettle and locally harvested honey, I eagerly turn on PBS to watch my favorite show, Antiques Roadshow.
Antiques Roadshow? Wait, Gen Z
What the fuck is Antiques Roadshow? What the fuck is this?
So what it is, they go all around the country to antiques auctions. So people auction off like antique furniture, artifact, trinkets, old
like
guitars, things like that.
Like the dude who all the dudes who like yell really fast, like about like, "Oh, I'm seeing a bet for this, I'm seeing a bet for that," and they do that shit. Is it those guys, those jabronis?
It's them, but then they also show like really old stuff from like the 1800s, or somebody, I don't know, has some historical artifact that they've had in their family passed down for generations, and they're looking to auction it off, whatever. Like, so yeah, the Gen Zers are watching Antiques Roadshow. That's cringe. They're not even watching anime, guys. They're watching they're watching PBS.
That's crazy.
They have it in the UK. Yeah, I figured. I mean, the UK has a lot. I mean,
a lot of American media.
It's really well American media, but they have their own, because I mean, people there
they do have their
probably
own
have. I mean, the UK is just old. There's old stuff everywhere.
No, they LARP like Americans. That's what I say.
Yeah. Actually, we kind of LARP like them, right? I feel like this stuff is very Victorian. I don't know if you know what I'm getting at. This stuff is very like rural Victorian era type stuff to some degree. That there definitely is some pull from that. If I start watching, that would be out of my history. Okay, Zane.
Whoa, we being edgy?
Yeah, we're being
a little edgy.
Whoa. Pump the brakes. We're
being anti-woke. I'm the only anti-woke here. What the hell?
Yeah, this old house, they're watching House Flipping, which again, like I said, Clay, back when millennials were growing up, we had all these shows like HGTV and stuff. I feel like it's like recycled again. This stuff is recycled.
Well, it's mostly reruns and shit like that. Most of the stuff that like HGTV, like most of the shit's just like fucking reality TV slop.
Yeah, it's like, or I remember when like all those house hunting shows, they would go to like destination cities, they go to like Rome or Barcelona or wherever, and like, you know, like some married couple was looking to like, I don't know, become expats in Spain or whatever, and they would look for a rental. Like there was all that going on, and now it's like. Now it's This Old House and Antiques Roadshow and you know, house flipping again, not going, you know, some foreign country. Whereas like my goal is, you know, eventually it would be cool to you know,
whoa, don't
live
call
in
it,
another
don't call it
country
legal
and do
mindset
that.
like that. It's fucked up. That's fucked up. How would you do that, Wings Mini?
At the ripe age of 20 years old, I embody the routine of my mother and grandmother. Instead of spending nights socializing at the bar or at the club, my nights are filled with comfort and nostalgia, and there are so many others just like me.
Do I look like a grandma to you? Because I feel like a grandma stuck in a 22-year-old's body. And
This is sad, bro.
That's not. It's not. Yeah, like, that's not a good thing. By the way. By the way, you want to know where this constantly happened as well? YouTube comments with like people talking about like older music. This isn't like a thing that's happened before. This is a thing that's happened before, rather. You know, like the people who say I'm quote unquote an old soul. I like old music from like the 60s and shit like that. Dude, it's all nostalgia cuckoldry. That's what it is. All nostalgia.
Well, here's the thing. I also love listening to old music. I listen to like I have you know, I've collected some of the music. Yeah, it's very true. Yeah. Like I'll listen to Hendrix, I'll listen to Robert Johnson. That's like, you know, Delta blues from the 1920s, but I'll also listen to Charlie XCX and stuff like that. Like I run the gamut musically. So, you know, but yeah, this harkening, and also like there's some big music channels on YouTube. Like what's his name? He's an old like Gen Xer who's just like really mad about modern music. What's his name? Rick Beato. I don't know if you've seen some of his videos, and he's like some music producer. You know, kind of a big shot. He's produced a lot of big albums, and you know, the dude knows his stuff in terms of music production. He's just one of those old souls who's all cranky about modern music, and he actually thinks hip hop isn't music. Like, it's insane.
Oh, he's Ben Shapiro.
Yeah. Ben Shapiro, but gray hair and, you know, music producer tattoos and stuff.
And probably not
but anyways,
maybe he is a Zionist. I have no idea.
He hasn't expounded on that at all. Emerald Live on Emerald Live on Food Network. Yeah, I remember the back in the day. Yeah.
In a grandma in me. A quilt patchwork? No, a patchwork quilt. I think my bed wants one. It's asking for it.
But the question I'm here to ask is why? Why is Gen Z embracing traditional lifestyles?
Now we're getting into it.
Why now? Because this goes beyond what some label as just a religious push of traditional.
Gen Z is turning to Christ, parade, traditionalism, families, heritage, and you can't stop us. Yeah, you can see where the white supremacy comes in.
I don't think that's exactly the case.
Oh, wait, I recognize this account. This is so, and she goes through a lot of accounts. She gets banned a lot, and so she ban evades constantly. One of them, Savannah Fur, Fuhr. Yeah, you know where they're going with that, and obviously
fur.
heritage.
What for? What?
Yeah.
What you mean by that? Pepe posting.
Yeah.
Pepe
I don't know what number account she's on now. She's been banned many times. So.
Fueled by the trad wives, of course, who single-handedly indoctrinated an entire generation. And we know this because the trend has emerged on both sides of the political and religious spectrum, so there has to be more going on here. But what we do know for certain is that these young adults are searching for something, and they aren't just looking outward for it, but rather backwards. Okay, question for you. Do you ever feel like you are more anxious or sensitive?
Okay.
They're an ad? Ads?
Sponsor, we're moving past.
Sorry.
Okay, the last good era.
Listen, she's probably a great sponsor or whatever. Yeah, sure. Moving on.
Yeah, it's an OCD quiz. Okay, let's move
Very
on.
Cool.
The last good era. Here we go.
Nostalgia. One of life's greatest gifts is the ability to look back on things with rose-colored glasses, forgetting how miserable things actually were. We all had that girl in middle school who swore she was born in the wrong generation, all the while romanticizing a time of food shortages, fixed.
Hey, that's what I said. I said.
No way.
I'm in her head. I'm in her head.
Yeah, we're all in her head. Yeah, well, Clay, and you're talking about the fast food lifestyle for home cooking. Like I said, I don't really go for fast food anymore. Like once in a while, I'll go to In-N-Out Burger because I mean In-N-Out Burger is relatively better compared to other fast food. I don't know, fight me, Burger King aficionado. If you eat Burger King, man, what's like unless it's desperate measures, who eats Burger King? Go to In-N-Out. It's the same money.
Desperate measures. Anyways, what are you fucking playing Halo ODST?
Yes. Yes. But yeah, it's like, once in a while I'll go to In-N-Out because it's a vice for me. But like, yeah, I mostly cook at home, but I also, order out. But mostly what I order is from like, specific, cuisine restaurants. Like I'll order, Sichuan Chinese or I'll order, pho or whatever. Like, I'll order something that's different, something to, broaden my palate. Whereas yeah, yeah, but ditching, fast food. Yeah, people are ditching it for home cooking, which is fine. I think more people should learn how to cook. It's a good thing to know. And it's good for you. So, but yeah, sort of this romanticization, and I think that's on top of it is the issue.
Also, by the way, like to be fair, I mean, home cooking, generally speaking, is less expensive than fast food. That's a fact, right? And it's also trying to get away from all of the people who, generally speaking, like Uber Eats everything as well. That's like a very millennial thing. People who like
it's too expensive.
Yeah, exactly. It's very, very expensive. Like it is cheaper to cook, generally speaking, but even in comparison to say like fast food and the sort of like like the consumerism with food. That's a very, very good point there, Zane. Like escaping
that's a good way to put it.
Consumerism food. The thing with it is that it's like it used to be like good quality stuff. Like McDonald's used to have good quality for good fucking prices, and now it's all fucking dog shit. Like, dude, hyper commodification, capitalist realism, Mark Fisher, he's back. It always comes back to Mark Fisher oh my god,
every time.
Daho mentioning Mark Fisher yet again. No, I can't believe you would mention him yet again. Crazy. He was truly a prophet of our time. But like,
he's Daho's favorite guy, folks. Mark Fisher.
Mark Fisher.
I don't know what the deal is with him.
I have no idea what's up.
He seems really cool. I don't know.
I have no idea what's going on with Mark Fisher. But this Daho guy keeps talking about Mark Fisher. He loves them. But it's like, it's crazy. Yeah, Taco Bell with the family was $50, bro.
$50 US, by the way. That was $50 US, dude.
That's
Zane, you could have got.
insane, bro.
You could have gotten biryani. You could have gotten biryani, korma, and naan for less than that for 5 people. I guarantee
crazy,
it.
Bro. Like you can get some fucking good shawarma platters for less than that as well. Guaranteed, get yourself like 2 shawarma platters easily.
That's leftovers.
And that's in Canadian money right there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's below 50 Canadian, okay? So you can tell, like our dumbass fucking Monopoly money, you can probably guess how many shawarma platters you can get with $50 here. But like, what was I saying? Escaping consumerism in food, hyper commodification, right? It's the thing is with like a lot of this like shit where it's just people want to escape that in particular. Not everyone really can. It's kind of difficult, right? Food deserts, those are a fucking thing. The only option for a lot of people, a lot of poor people generally speaking, are those like fast food options. Like what, like a McDouble or some shit used to be like $1.50 back in the day. It was like 600 calories or something. That's really, really good for the price point. If you're just looking to just get calories, right? Just to have energy to move on in the day, right? Like,
yeah, it's either fast food or you go to the grocery store and you get a rotisserie chicken and a potato salad from the deli for like $8 or something. Like that's Costco. What it is now, right?
Used to be Costco, right? Costco, you'd go to get like a big rotisserie chicken and like some fucking salad. That'd be cheap. Like it's like $5 or something.
Very, very cheap. And they still do the $1.50 hot dogs somehow. I don't know.
Listen, the owner of Costco himself said it's like, yeah, we're never changing from $1.50 hot. We don't care if we're losing money on that.
That's dedication.
That is dedication. That's based. Yes,
yeah, the thing is, though, Clay,
farmers markets and fish stores for fresh fish. That's true. My dad does that all the time.
The thing is, farmers markets are still mad expensive. Like, or even like community supported agriculture, CSAs, those are still really, really expensive. So it's, not everybody can access it. And yeah, produce is very expensive now. Like, yeah, I think it's now what's happening is like, yeah, people are trying to return with a V, but I think they're running into the problem of, late stage capitalism and hyper commodification. Yeah, I mean, I've listen. I've been going to a halal butcher for years, so that's nothing new for me. I've been trad wifing this whole time.
I have not been.
Yeah,
I'm a degenerate. It's over for me.
So,
Nice. Probably get going.
Swore she was born in the wrong generation, all the while romanticizing a time of food shortages, fixed class systems, and medical practices that involved herb-stuffed masks to protect against infection. But actually, we can't hate on anyone who says that they want to go back to the good old days, because we all do it. It's a natural human tendency to idealize the past, especially during uncertain times like the ones we're living through now. The past can bring a sense of comfort and familiarity.
The biggest crisis we face is the crisis of imagination. My PhD was on nostalgia and the rise of the far right, yeah? Because what happens when you can't see the future? You look to the past for answers and for hope. And it's not just in politics, is it? Our culture is saturated in nostalgia. Other than Make America Great Again, take back our borders.
She's so right. Oh my god, she's spitting.
There's all this return to some fatherland rhetoric that's going on. There's also the whole aesthetic of Sabrina Carpenter and her 1960s look. There's the constant remakes and reboots.
I feel like Sabrina does it for the memes, though, right? She's kind of the thing with Sabrina Carpenter is she's putting that look out there, but also is sort of she's doing it from a feminist sort of meme angle, right? She's like, she has that vintage aesthetic, but she's also like very, very progressive, very feminist, right? And sort of, calling men man-children and stuff like that. And
calls men pigs like all the time. It makes conservatives really mad.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah, she makes all the conservatives mad. But she puts that aesthetic on like as a meme or as sort of a parody.
Yeah, a parody in of itself. Because I mean, a lot of that shit is a parody in of itself. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I have to say.
Disney films or the aesthetic of Stranger Things. Fashion arguably isn't even a revival, it's a repetition. And the thing is, with the politics of nostalgia, it's about loss. No one's nostalgic when times are good.
A return to something older,
That's
steadier,
true.
deeper. A reaching back for the wisdom of ancestors. A rekindling of traditions that once shaped families and nations, but were brushed aside as outdated relics in a rush towards progress. Millennials and Gen Z generations, often caricatured as detached, cynical, and screen-obsessed, are leading this return. And they're doing so with a fervor that shocks those who assumed tradition would simply fade into the past. This is something we've discussed before in my video about how nothing feels real anymore, in which I will repeat a quote in case you haven't seen that video. Research supports the efficacy of nostalgia as a coping mechanism. As a result of engaging in nostalgic recollections, people often report experiencing a more positive mood, feeling more socially connected, and having a greater sense that their lives are meaningful. And this goes for individual experiences as well as collective ones, as even COVID, which we all remember was not a good time, has been sugar-coated online. This is a very prominent mental state.
But yeah, people are doing COVID nostalgia. Like, oh, I remember when the roads were empty. Like, I see so many posts, maybe because I'm more FYP local to LA. People like put up, nostalgic posts about, oh, remember when the freeways had no cars on them for like a week? Yeah, like people are nostalgic for that time. Like,
bro, that's actually that's cringe. I'm gonna be honest here. I think that's cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone wants to return to monkey, and that's true, Zane.
Monkey. Yeah, that's right. You made whole batches of ice cold sweet tea. There you go. There you go. Yeah, people do. I know people who do that with like iced coffee and stuff. They'll make whole batches.
Gen Z is leaning into these days, as they're looking for literally anything that gives them a sense of stability in an unbelievably unstable world.
I'm serious when I ask this, but what do I have to do to get some precedented times back up in this? Because every time I open my phone, there is some never before seen crazy shit happening in the U.S. What do I have to do to get my times precedented again? Because I'm tired of living unprecedented time.
This feels for everybody right now. Particularly Gen Z.
That's a major like real like everyone's saying like that's true. That's pretty true. That's the train wrecks. Like, yeah, that's pretty true. I mean, that's pretty true.
Yeah, guys. Yeah. Nicknam is yeah.
Tyler Nicknam is saying he's saying true to that one.
Yeah, and if you think about it, like for me as a millennial, like the early 2000s were like the last time the economy was really good, because post 2008 hasn't been, right? So the last time the economy was good was, around that time, the early 2000s. When I was growing up, my childhood wasn't a struggle, right? Compared to, say, what Gen Z and Gen Alpha are going through right now. So they're really going through it. Their entire life to this point has been unprecedented times. Their entire life. 2008, market crash and everything.
It turns out people are getting kind of sick and tired of constantly living through the cool zone, the metaphorical cool zone, it turns out.
Yep. Slight devil's advocate from Alex. You don't hate Mondays, you hate capitalism, Bane. People are nostalgic for taking time off work and work from home. Yes, there is the I mean, I still thankfully work remote. Yeah, and but the thing is that like I'm not nostalgic about it. Like it's sort of just part of my life, and I do kind of miss a little bit going into the office or work because I work in software engineering. So software engineering is a lot of collab and pair programming and whiteboarding and stuff. So you can't be doing it alone through Slack is really frustrating sometimes. But yeah, there is that. I'm also, you could say I'm a little bit nostalgic as well because during the day, because I start very early in the morning to match Central Time because I'm in Pacific. I will actually take a siesta some days if I can get the chance. I'll take like a 1 hour nap in the middle of the day. I know, very very Italian.
No, it's very Spanish.
So
Come on, get your fucking siestas, okay?
They all take siestas. All of Southern Europe is taking siestas.
Yeah, because they're not cringe, and the Mediterranean.
True.
The Mediterranean is fucking sick.
True. It's very Lebanese of me. Anyways,
Gen Z has inherited a world filled with climate anxiety, job insecurity, political division, and digital overload. For many, traditional structures provide a sense of stability. The trad movement promises clarity in an era of uncertainty, offering roles, rules, and a sense of purpose. It's rebellion by reversal. Where millennials rebelled against structure, Gen Z might be rebelling against the chaos of modernity by turning to eras past. Basically, coming of age during a global pandemic and the chaos that followed ever since fundamentally changed the trajectory of Gen Z's future, values, and priorities. It's not like they grew up fantasizing about acreage, flower gardens, and runner ducks. Well, I'm sure some of you did, but for the most part, this was never supposed to be a part of their story. They grew up like the rest of us, optimistic about the future, believing technology would improve our lives, trusting in a clear path to a happy middle-class life, and idealizing the modern American dream.
Stop right there. Stop right there. That's we've talked about this before. Ding, 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 ding. Whoa, people are upset about the fact that fucking Barack Obama said like, let me be clear. You want to get to a comfortable middle-class existence? Trust in tech, get your tech jobs. Learn to code. Learn to code.
I can't do it as well as you.
It's the fucking Ponzi scheme of learn to code. That's what it is. That's what's causing all this. Fucking knew it.
And now it's folks, if you want the American dream, learn to trade. You gotta tighten those. You gotta do some plumbing.
For example, with that Trump account shit, for example, like Ted Cruz gave away the game, and they said that this is a way to try to undermine Social Security. Which they've been,
100%. Yeah, with the youth savings account.
The latter part about 70 years.
Yep, and it's a scam. Like, how are you going to access that money when they're 18? I don't know. There's going to be a lot of people are going to be suing. There's going to be lawsuits in 10 years. Just wait.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all have it in your area, but you should sign. I don't know on West Coast what they have, but yeah, I usually cook my own chicken, but yeah. Moving to Spain, Arc, I really should.
We've had the pandemic, the cost of living crisis, the housing crisis, the bird flu culling, the rental crisis, shrinkflation, the loneliness epidemic, the job market crisis, the AI bubble, the Ukraine war, the Venezuela invasion, and now the Iran war. Let me know if I missed anything. But in my opinion, that is far too much to deal with in just 6 years. So in response to this, what else would you expect people to do other than look frantically around for anything that brings back a sense of control to the individual? Having gone through all of this with no end in sight,
this is also the exact same fucking concept I have talked about myself. People feel like they are the masters of their own fate. There's a very, very fantastic point here that Ashley is hitting on. And the exact same thing I have said myself, analogizing it to the, the various wars that Israel loves carrying out. People feel like they are the masters of their own fate, and that they see the systems of control that are supposed to be managing this failing in front of them. What do they feel like they have to do? Reassert control for themselves, which can be good in certain ways, but very, very often doesn't lead to good outcomes.
Yeah, look at this. My current favorite wellness hack, pretending like it's the early 2000s. It's a wellness hack. Look at this. This says it all, really, doesn't it? Look at the mason jars and the wooden dish rack. Oh man, I remember when this was all over. Like, you go to Target and this is all you would find in the kitchen section. I remember, and I bet if I go today, you'll find it again.
And is offered as one of the first opportunities for Gen Z to build life on something firm. As said here, I think people get really burnt out and overstimulated. A lot of it is not necessarily escapism, but kind of a return to what matters and things that fill you up instead of draining you down.
But is it filling people up? We know it's not, right? It's just sort of pretend. It's LARP, right?
Yeah,
it's not filling
it's a cry for help.
Yep.
Future of food prices, energy, the school system, job security, and global conflict all feel uncertain. It would make sense that people would try and safeguard their own future by looking back to how things were done before industrialization. Again, not because they want to return to traditional family values, but because they're seeking agency and autonomy over their lives, and the era of homesteading seems to give them that. Because when the modern world isn't cutting it anymore, you have no other choice than to look for alternative paths. Okay, so now I want to address why I don't think this is a
This is a good
trend,
one,
but
too.
rather an ideology shaping an entire generation moving forward. Because the signs aren't good that things are about to get any better. If you haven't heard, there's a war going on.
War in
Side note, I
Iran.
do think it's so funny, not in a haha kind of way, but a couple videos ago I talked about how inflation is under control, and as long as nothing bad happens in the world, Gen Z should be able to get back on their feet. Lol.
LOL.
Well,
Oops. Wait, hold on. I don't know what you're talking about. I needed to have stagflation so then we can enact our plan of rape the country to death. Have you ever considered that, Ashley? That I, Donald J. Trump, just want to rape the country to death? That's what I want to do.
The greatest
folks.
president. Yeah.
It's such a great idea, folks. Just rape the country to death.
Literally, I posted that 2 weeks before the Iran war started, so there goes that idea. But this is what we're dealing with now, so let's talk about it, because the implications are far-reaching, including concerns about our food supply. Not that we're about to go run out and buy out all the toilet paper.
Hold on.
Oh, I remember those days.
Well, yeah, I've not only those days, but honestly, like, by the way, I mean, all signs are saying that we are headed for another Great Depression. Stagflation is here. Like, all the boxes have been ticked. Energy shock, right? Terrible, uncertain labor market. And I think the third factor is the weakening of the dollar. All three conditions have been met. Stagflation was what inevitably led to the fucking Great Depression. You want to know another factor that's also contributing to this? Credit card debt.
Oh, yeah. Credit card, car loan, home loans.
Everyone's falling behind on their home loans and their car loan payments. And that's
not
the
only
same
that,
thing that happened in 1929, and boop. We're gonna get our Great Depression. It's happening.
Yeah. It's just like when will the day come? And that's the thing is like, and now it's even worse because like other big purchases people are doing, like televisions, gaming PCs, graphics cards. People are putting it on Klarna, on what A-Firm or whatever the other sort of fast credit stuff there is. Yeah.
Not even small purchases, just small
furniture, things like that.
Purchases,
Yeah.
like small purchases as well. Food.
Groceries.
Mm-hmm. Groceries. That's not good, guys. It's really bad.
Yeah. Listen, folks. If you're not getting groceries on Klarna, are you really living?
That's true, folks. This is a way that we make a healthy economy, folks. This is how we do it.
Yep, run the debt up.
Learned our lesson, right? But this is likely to impact our food prices moving forward because fertilizer production relies heavily on natural gas from the oil industry in the Middle East. And without access to that, farmers are going to have to make hard decisions this growing season on whether to switch crops out or adapt to fertilizer supply issues.
I think Kowalski from Nebraska has brought this up consistently. I think he's also made a couple of YouTube videos like about like the farming, because that dude is a farmer, believe it or not.
A legit one.
A legit one in Nebraska, and he constantly calls into the majority report all the time, talk about like.
I love when he calls in. The best.
Yeah, it's great information. It's just good info, and he's talking about like, yeah, here's how Trump fucked us, and here's why we're in a really really bad position. It's just like, thank you, Kowalski, very very cool. Yeah,
so what is this?
It's like the penguin Kowalski from Penguins of Madagascar. Kowalski analysis. Skipper, it's all fucked.
Yep. Every time.
My family and I farm right south of San Antonio. We're buying nitrogen right now, and it's about 40% higher than it was,
40% more for nitrogen. Oh my god.
70% of it goes through the Strait of Hormuz, by the way.
Mm-hmm. And isn't like hydrogen, sulfur, right? So the byproducts you need to make hydrogen gas are also like a lot of it goes through the Gulf like waterways.
Helium. You're thinking helium. Helium goes to the Strait of Hormuz. Yeah. Chips.
No more party balloons, folks.
Nah, it's not party balloons. It's chips.
Yes, of course. That's the main thing. Yeah.
Who the fuck cares about party balloons? Okay, yeah. Sorry, kid. You sound like Alvin the Chipmunk, and it's over for us. I guess.
Exactly. Yep.
From Benton County, Iowa. We booked most of our fertilizer before the conflict in Iran. However, some of it we did not because it was too expensive. We're probably going to go without that particular nutrient on our crop this year. A lot of other farmers are doing the same thing.
So
his yield's going to fall
yields are gonna
fast.
Be terrible.
But those costs flow down to the
By the way,
grocery store.
This is a policy from what I've heard in India, right, Boy Meets Mini? They've been advising for all the farmers to slow down their yields, if I recall correctly, right?
So there's multiple things. Modi has basically put the economy on lockdown in India. Basically, what they're doing is he's stopping import of precious metals. like gold and jewelry and things like that. It's basically like austerity maxed. He's austerity maxing India.
Yo, my favorite kind of maxing, dude. I love austerity
I know.
maxing.
Thatcher maxing. Yes,
Oh my god, Thatcher
maxing. I love it.
maxing.
Yes.
She's creaming in the grave.
So, but yeah, it's like no buying of like precious metals and jewelry. There's a ban on there's like no international travel. Trying to think. There's basically all the luxury stuff which is crazy because the next day, what did he end up doing? He ended up traveling to like the following week after issuing that decree.
Yeah, wasn't there like a BRICS thing that he went to?
Yeah, he jet set over to BRICS. He went to Switzerland. He came to I think he came to the US or Canada or something for a visit. Like he was jet setting all over the place. And then the richest man in India, Mukesh Ambani, and his son, they like released some like they did a huge like reveal party for his son's ice cream company. It's like luxury ice cream or whatever. It's like the irony.
Okay, like are we fucking Castro maxing right now or something? What the fuck is this?
It kind of feels like it, you know.
What the hell? That's the only guy who likes fucking ice cream. What the cock and balls is this?
Hey, don't forget Biden and the chocolate chip. Remember that. But yeah, we don't like Biden.
You're reminding me of all of the like Call of Duty AI meme shows that I have seen on fucking YouTube. That's another ethical use of AI is the presidential zomboids. If you know, you know.
Yes, they're so good.
Or when the ones who play Dawn of War. I fucking love all of those are very good.
Yep.
They conclude that extending the war through the spring and summer planting and growing season could push food at home grocery inflation toward 5 to 7%, and that prices would most likely not come back down even if energy prices retreated, preferring instead to restore margins that were compromised during the initial shock. To expand on that further, while we all hope this conflict will end soon, even if it does, the damage is already done.
Yeah, it's already
the supply
done.
chain has been disrupted.
For years, by the way. This is years to come.
What do you mean? I needed to do this because I wanted to be best friends with our good pals in Iran. I don't know what you're talking about. I did nothing wrong.
Our best case scenario in this conflict still involves higher food prices for the next year. And so in an age where people are already struggling to pay for food and some are even using buy now, pay later for groceries, we can expect that strain to become even tighter moving forward. As said here, meat processors, for example, are highly exposed to the cost of diesel and energy intensive livestock. Expect to see their input costs soar and their margins compress as a result of the war. Great. It does.
We're all becoming vegans, folks. Let's go. We will. You will eat the worm and live in the box.
Listen, I've said before, vegans are correct. They're just really terrible at making their arguments.
Really, and they're militant. That doesn't help.
Yes.
Doesn't help their case one bit.
I actually feel crazy that like nearly every interview and thought piece and article on the Iran war includes something along the lines of, if you don't already have a garden yet, you should think about starting one to offset your food costs. They're literally telling us to anticipate fending for ourselves. Cool. And this goes beyond food, right? The global economy runs on oil, and when oil prices rise, inflation tends to follow because nearly everything we get from our stores or at our doorsteps depends on transportation powered by oil. As shown here, rising fuel prices could push inflation higher, experts have warned. And even
it's almost as if the car infrastructure of America is biting America in the ass, like I've said before.
Critical racing theory.
Oh, this is why you need to be more fucking critical racist theorists.
So true. So true.
So true. So true.
Mm-hmm. Like, here's the thing, and my angle on that as well. I'm a car enthusiast. I love, old automobiles, performance cars, stuff like that. I don't want to have to commute in a car. I want to race in a car. Okay, if I want to get to work, I'm hopping on the train and I'm walking.
Yeah, dude, I want to listen.
I don't want to drive to work. I want to drive on a racetrack.
You don't. Yeah, you want to know what? Okay, if I want to have, a GTR. Okay, that's the car that I want. Not because I'm Paul Walker maxing. Okay, but because that's the specific car I used in Gran Turismo 2, which is my favorite arcade sim racing game. Fucking love me some Gran Turismo 2. Okay, we're doing a little bit of nostalgia cuckoldry. Okay.
Oh no, we're doing it too.
No, it's over for me. Oh, fuck. Daho not having any principles. What the fucking cock and balls is this?
Backtracking already. Can't believe it.
Yeah, it's over for me. I liked the R34 Skyline GTR. Okay, that's a fucking sick car. Love that car. Very, very cool. Would like to somehow get one. Okay. It'd be really difficult. Listen, I have a plan in mind. Okay, it'll work out. Trust me.
I might be able to hook you up. I know some people who know some R34 owners out here. Okay, it's LA car culture. There's somebody. There's somebody who has one.
Listen, one day. Okay, one day.
You gotta get a California one that has no rust. Okay.
That's
Anyways,
true. That's true. So like, I would like to just drive around with that fucking vehicle because I think it's sick. I think that car is fucking awesome. It's a great vehicle. I think it's excellent. That shit ain't fucking happening anytime soon. And like, do I want to like use that to commute to work or something? Like, okay, maybe I guess it'd be cool, but like, no, not really. I'm just trying to like more or less vibe, I guess, for like lack of a better term. I want it because I think it's just as cool. Or like the reasons for as to why I'd want to like paint Warhammer minis, because I think it's cool. Like I think it's just a cool hobby to get into.
Yeah, I mean, you want a GTR for, I don't know, the track or autocross or something like that. Like that's what you want it for, you know, not a daily. Like I want train and walking daily. Okay, so
it's true.
Yep.
But as with food prices, even if this conflict only goes on for a few months, the consequences are already unfolding. This is because the supply chains don't heal instantly, as companies have to adapt to the current market, meaning negotiating new deals with suppliers, changing contracts, adjusting factories, and moving manufacturing. It all drives up costs for months.
I thought this was all supposed to be a video game. What do you mean, Ashley? Why are you lying to me? All my advisors have told me that you can just instantaneously fix the thing, and it's been no problem, folks. Like, come on, what the hell?
Yeah, dude's he's playing Victoria 3 out here. He's playing Victoria 3
He's
with
playing
all of
Anno
us.
1880. That's what he's playing.
Oh, no.
Even years. This is a process we've seen before, and we will see it again. From the COVID supply chain issues to the bird flu egg prices, as well as fuel from the Ukraine war, it all disrupted prices that still haven't recovered. And so all of this just puts more fire under the butts of Gen Z to simplify their lives, cut spending, and look at more self-sustaining alternatives. In fact, in a lot of ways, we are at the beginning of the end of convenience, whether it's taken from us from the rising shipping costs or willingly giving up in favor for things that you actually have control over. Whether it's growing your own food, making your own bread, spending 10 million hours knitting a sweater, Gen Z is acting out of desperation to ease the rising cost of everyday life.
The more I cook from scratch and eat at home and raise my own food, the more I realize that the food system is a complete scam. For example,
which she has a point, or they have a point. You know, they really do.
It's not like that's not an inaccurate thing to say. To be quite honest, like there's an argument there. Absolutely.
I made yogurt last night, and you want to know what's in this yogurt? Milk, and I had to add a little bit of yogurt to get it started, but I won't have to buy yogurt anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I've made ghee at home before. You know, clarified butter. That's not difficult. So yeah, I'm already 2 steps ahead.
I've made hamburgers. It's not very hard. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean that's Your $50 Taco Bell isn't a scam. Wake up, Zane. It is.
That's true.
Milk and yogurt.
What is it, like sourdough bread is pennies on the dollar compared to store-bought bread?
I've seen, it's interesting. Dude, I've seen so many fucking clips on like Twitter of people making sourdough bread. I've seen so many.
Oh, there's so much sourdough
everywhere.
I have a strong desire to comment on those and say, okay, you think you're cool with sourdough, now start making naan bread. Then you get points in my book. If you can make naan, you get the seal of approval.
That reminds me, I still need to send you all my local Indian places so I can get seals.
Yes.
I need to still do that. I think
we got to put an order for you, some orders together for you. But yeah, and it's interesting now. Gen Z, I've noticed they are using the word capitalism a lot more. When I was growing up in the early 2000s, if you said the word capitalism, people would immediately call you out and say you were like a traitor, because that time, you know, it was like the Iraq War was like 95% popular. Like if you said the word capitalism back then, people would, you know, call you a pinko or whatever. They would call you all kinds of stuff, or like anti-American or whatever. You know, and now like everyone in Gen Z is talking about capitalism. Really interesting. Like I never had this growing up, and yeah.
Gangs of class consciousness? What are you, fucking libcuck?
You think making bread is cool? Yeah, upgrade to add some beef. Yeah, make a beef Wellington. There you go. Yep.
No, it's fucking raw.
So many people who thrift.
I feel like actually, you know, that's one thing as well, because I know a lot of streamers on here. They will watch reruns of Gordo, right, of Hell's Kitchen and MasterChef and all that stuff.
Wasn't Vio actually on? She was like, I think she gave some like of her cooking or some shit to Gordon Ramsay, and Gordon Ramsay liked it. I think.
Yes. There's a clip.
There's a clip of it.
Yeah. It was odd. That was very cool. But yeah, like you see all these streamers like watching back like old cooking shows, like all the Gordo shows, and I feel like the Gordo nostalgia is like, people want to learn to. It's
Well,
sort of feeding into this.
Well, it was also
Yeah.
then because that's when like the DMCA discourse was also happening right around that time. That's why people.
Yeah, there was that loop. There was that little loophole. Yeah.
What is it, like sourdough bread is pennies on the dollar compared to store-bought bread. I also know so many people who thrift their own yarn for crocheting, and it is ever so popular to
People are thrifting yarn, man. That's dire
That's
straits.
fucking
If we're thrifting
ridiculous.
yarn,
Is yarn that fucking expensive now? That's crazy.
I
to
don't.
me.
I don't know how much it is by the foot, but couldn't tell you. I'd have to go to my local art supply.
That would be.
see.
That's
seeds
kind of
from
insane.
store-bought veggies
Yeah.
to grow your own now. Gen Z is nothing if not resourceful. But the worst part of all of this is that these large corporations couldn't care less that costs are about to go up because it
Oh, they
all
don't
in the
care.
wash. The wash being the consumers, of course. For example, aluminum prices recently hit a 4-year high after Iran struck 2 large smelters of metal in the Middle East. Aluminum, which is on the list of 60 minerals deemed critical by the US government, is widely used for beer and soda cans in cars and packaging. And do you think that those
And most specifically, airplanes, for jets, for aeronautics.
Mhm.
That's what they really care more about.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason Iran hit as part of the, sort of response to invasion. They're like, okay, let's hit them where it hurts. Let's close their trade. Let's, hit global capital as much as we can, right? And shut it down. Because their thinking is, oh, if they don't have aluminum, they can't build more jets. Like that's pretty smart on their part. Like, go after
They have to do what they got to do.
those supply chains. Yeah, they got to do what they got to do. I mean, the Ukrainians have done the same thing in Russia.
Yeah, this is
with their drones.
they're in an effective state of total war. They have to do this to survive. Like we've talked about this before. The point of the nation state is its own survival. If it cannot fucking survive, then well, it will do anything possible to fight for said survival. Something Karl Marx.
Mm-hmm.
are going to just eat that cost. No. That is our problem now. Yes, it's only been a few months since the conflict started, but we're already seeing this happen. Things like flight baggage fees are going up, shipping companies are raising rates, and our dearest Amazon is adding a 3.5% fuel and logistics related surcharge for third-party sellers.
Oh, so they're just gonna put it on the small third-party sellers, and yeah, I bet all the Alphabro drop shippers are gonna they're probably all mad now. I guarantee
I
it.
bet all the dudes who made those 8646 fucking t-shirts are very, very happy. Looking at you, Jack Posobiec.
Yeah, all those 1776 merch. Yeah,
What the
the
hell,
Punisher
brother?
skulls.
Why are we having to do with this stuff? That's crazy, brother.
You voted for it. Enjoy.
Fell for it again.
Enough money to take the hit themselves. Basically, corporate profits have never, ever been better.
Can somebody explain to me why my internet bill has doubled in 6 years? Did the internet become more scarce? I am now paying almost $100 a month.
Yeah, mine's gone up as well. And I'm on flippin' Spectrum. I wish I had fiber. Look at you. Soon, hopefully soon.
No crazy plan, no crazy fiber, optic, whatever, mega speeds. I don't know, just a normal plan that has doubled in price in 6 years. I swear it's these little price changes. It's just death by 1,000 financial cuts that just keep coming and coming, and they do not stop.
Well, I mean, like I said before, like the Trump administration has made it very, very clear. A lot of the bourgeoisie and the rich feel like the country is fucking dying. So, how about instead of fixing any of the issues, it's rape the country to death protocol instead. How about we just rape the country to death? That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and make off with the spoils, and yeah, that's it. Yeah.
The drug and medical device maker reported strong earnings on Tuesday and increased its full-year earnings forecast. Executives acknowledged macro uncertainty, but said they do not see damage to their business yet. On Wednesday, Bank of America reported a jump in quarterly profit from a year earlier.
Wow, despite everything, yeah, this is profiting off the crisis. And yeah, Clay, you're right. Yeah, about food packaging being full of air. Yeah, I mean, I know they do that for chips because, to keep them from getting crushed, but yeah, they put more air in there now. They take advantage.
Yeah,
they ride that wave. Yeah. And welcome, Big Jerry. But yeah, no, quarterly, a jump in profits despite everything. Now you see the real reason.
Naomi Klein wrote about this, friends. That's what it is.
And as usual, the left, the radical left. We're too early on this. We're always too early on this. People say, oh, because I've recommended Naomi Klein's books. I have a couple of them on my shelf. I think I have that one as well as No Logo. So I've recommended those books. I've let friends borrow those books, and they're like, because they're like liberals or whatever. And there's like. Yeah, and they're like, oh, that's a little too radical for me or whatever. It's like, well, what are we seeing now? What did I tell you? And they're like, yeah, I guess you were right. I guess you crazy lefties are correct.
The burden of always being correct. The burden.
Too soon.
If only I can say that to like my mentally ill YouTube comments. That's never happening.
I know. Wow, yeah. It's the comment section. Hi, comment section.
Partly because of strong consumer spending that indicated a resilient economy. All of this pointing to the fact that Gen Z's penny pinching habits will only grow stronger as the year unfolds. So bring on the granny hobbies because at least it makes survival aesthetic.
Yeah, Naomi's a market socialist, I think. Anyways, that technicality aside, but yeah, the survival aesthetic. I like that term, by the way, because it's not like I feel like it's now there is a real like legitimate push for survival and figuring out how to.
Everyone is Bear Grylls maxing. Come on, we all know this.
So true. Yeah, everyone is pulling out the Fallout recipe cookbook. There's actually it's funny when
everyone's pulling out the makeshift enema to get water. If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
That should be a Fallout 4 mod. No, that would get me banned off.
Whoa! Jason Unruh. Jason Unruh would cream his pants over that one.
Yeah, no, we don't want to enable him. So.
Damn.
Final boss. Are we ready, folks?
So not only is everything getting more expensive, everything also sucks now. If you didn't know, we in North America are on a steady path toward everything we use getting worse in quality, driven by a system that rewards cutting costs over maintaining standards.
Am I the only one noticing this, or does it feel like all companies are just pushing their limits? They are just trying to see how far will you...
Yeah, it's like how much more polyester are they going to add into every piece of clothing?
No, it's right? Planned obsolescence.
That's it.
It's
Apple. It's Apple product practices writ large, basically.
Pay for their service, their product.
For me, the most noticeable post-COVID example of this is IKEA furniture, and they are a company that prioritizes affordable products.
Oh, I hate IKEA so much.
We appreciate. And with that, you don't expect super high quality or solid wood products anyway. That's fine, but I didn't realize the quality could get any lower.
Oh yeah, so the thing with like these sort of like paperboard, like it all like the fasteners and stuff, they always tear out. They always tear out.
Yeah, but that's kind of on purpose though, right?
Yeah. So I have like I had to save money, but I got a solid wood top desk with a good motor, and it's one of those standing desks. But I have a solid wood top.
Well, also by the way, all the local furniture manufacturers, I think those are mostly based in North Carolina. Those guys are gone. They don't exist anymore.
No, or if they do, they're making like super expensive like boutique furniture, which you go to some of the shops here in LA, they're like, oh yeah, it's $3,000 for a dining table set. It's like, jeez, man, $3,000, but it's solid wood, it's solid oak or whatever.
Yeah, it must be fucking nice.
Oh, it is. It absolutely is, but no one can afford it, so those shops are empty.
Than it already had, because now many of the furniture pieces they offer aren't even MDF or OSB, but literal cardboard. I really don't want to hate on IKEA because they do serve a really important purpose of making furniture accessible, but cardboard is really disappointing. And it's just a reflection of the way things are going in the world right now. Name a product, and I bet you the quality has decreased since inflation took hold of our lives. Affectionately named skimpflation, a tactic where companies reduce the quality, ingredients, or service levels of a product while keeping the price the same, or more
or they add toxic, chemicals in there or whatever. Like, yeah, the regulations are dropping left and right with the HHS now, under, being run by lunatics. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I would never do anything that's bad in terms of vaccine mandates.
Perfect voiceover. They have premium options, but it's like, okay, at that point, I'm just going to go to like a more boutique place and get solid wood furniture. It's the same money.
Recently, fittingly termed enshittification by Cory Doctorow. But this
I love Cory Doctorow.
Gen Z's push towards self-sufficiency because they are craving quality in a world of junk. We see it in the resurface of, again, knitting and sewing, but also in thrifting. While yes, a big part of the thrifting vintage movement among Gen Z started from a sustainability standpoint, it shifted in recent years to a hunt for higher quality heritage pieces made with real materials.
It's crazy how stuff I grew up with when I was a kid is heritage now, or vintage. It's so weird. It's the weirdest feeling. It's like,
by the way, this was the thing that I mentioned earlier in the fucking video, talking about fast fashion and people wanting to get like higher quality fucking stuff. By the way, and this is something that happens very often, a lot of people will do their clothes shopping from like Japanese stores. Why? Japan is like one of the few places left that actually does like the vintage fucking clothing and shit like that, like the actual like good quality fucking clothing.
Yeah, it's either that or now I think one other country, obviously, Indian brands are starting to come over here as well because I think it's a little lower cost of labor, and the textiles are really high quality from India. So yeah, there's now like Indian brands are jumping on that train of like, you know, Japanese textiles and style. I mean, part of it also is like the aesthetic. People really like the you know, Tokyo street fashion and stuff like that. I mean, I myself, I'm wearing like, you know, my comfy pants. They're from Japan. Like they're made with really yeah, caught. I'm part of the problem. But yeah, I'm wearing them because they're high quality. They survive. Yeah, they survive the wash. I've had them for 2 years. There's not a single tear in them, and they're stitched perfectly. It's like, and yeah, they were like $60, but they last. Like it was worth every penny.
That's what American denim used to be.
Yeah.
But it's not anymore. It's all fucking like made in fucking sweatshops in fucking Bangladesh. Okay.
Yeah, Bangladesh and, you know, Pakistan, Vietnam, like wherever, but like wherever whatever the tag says. But yeah, $60 for a pair of really comfy sort of, you know, pants you can wear around the house. And I'm looking down and like the drawstrings have like Japanese writing on them, but they're really good.
That shit's gonna last for forever.
Yeah, they're really nice. So.
So basically the whole reason why I collect physical media, why I quit my tech job, why I thrift everything, it's all
Quit my tech job. I'm not doing that.
The fact that I hate being treated like a sucker. There is this unfathomable level of hostility and contempt towards consumers where it's like these corporations are mad that they have to get through you to get to your money.
It's also very prevalent in the home niche online, where the latest
a commentary on the post-consumerist society that's been being built ever since the fucking 80s. Because that's what it is. This is what post-consumerism looks like. This is hyper-commodification. Yep. Life-stage capitalism, people. This is what it's looking like. This is what
you wanted
becoming.
Toraichi, if I'm saying that, I don't speak Japanese, but Toraichi workwear so bad because everything I wore. Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, but they probably make like really good denim or you know, they probably use really good leather and, you know, stitches and stuff like that. So yeah, no, I get it, because it's like you'd rather wear that for work and not have to keep buying clothes for work, because that's money out of your paycheck. Yep.
trends include people going to Home Goods or Home Sense and pointing out how much of it is useless junk.
Hi, I was here last year and you guys had a Linky horse statue. Is that something that you guys...
Unfortunately, we did get feedback that was a little too small, but we do have this upgraded model here if you'd like.
That's perfect, thank you.
Oh my God, Home Goods is such a wacky store. I don't know if you have something like that in Canada where it's like overstock or, you know, or like secondhand stuff.
Maybe, I don't know. We have like
maybe it's a different
Sense.
company, whatever.
I don't think so. We have like Home Sense or something, but that's like standard like furniture store or something type shit.
Yeah, a lot of consumers are. Yeah, I guess I don't know about like brain dead morons, but it's like Alex, they still buy into the convenience, right? People still buy into the convenience, or they buy into the brand so much. And yeah, you look at what the World Cup is doing, but people are like, whatever, that's political, whatever thing, and they're still gonna go, despite the World Cup. No way, World Cup. Yeah.
Politics in my sports. What are you, fucking cringe?
I know, right? Yeah, we can't have Colin Kaepernick kneeling again, guys.
That's true. That was gay and retarded.
I know.
Back to thrifting, though, there has been a really interesting conversation online about how we only have limited years left of good
We're almost
thrifting.
done,
As more low-quality goods flood the market, donations will continue to decline in quality until there's little value left in the store. Same goes for vintage shops, because what even will be vintage in the next 50 years? Labubus? And that's also how we found our...
The boo-boo!
Fucking
Nobody's spammed the boo-boo emote.
Yeah, we're going... Everyone's being sent to Pazuzu. You're all going to Pazuzu.
All of us are getting sucked in. There you go.
I mean, listen, Karl Marx. He's talked about this conspicuous consumption. That's what it fucking. Oh, okay, it wasn't. I don't think it was Karl Marx.
Whoa.
About conspicuous consumption. Someone else talked about conspicuous consumption. I don't remember if they're like a Marxist or whatever. But yeah, that's what that is. That's what
probably David Graeber. Probably David Graeber, because he's talked about the about jobs and stuff like that too. It probably was David Graeber. I don't know. I have to look back.
No, like the conspicuous consumption. It's a concept that emerged like in the 1800s.
Oh, okay.
Right around Marx's time.
Obsessed with these online old farmhouses like Ballerina Farm's home, with the bare beam ceilings, the old cast iron stove, and the natural materials as far as the eye can see. Side note, if you didn't know,
You don't want to clean out an old cast iron stove. That takes hours. Sorry, you don't want to do that.
Do that either. That seems like
No.
take forever.
No, I'll stick with my gas cooktop or whatever. Yeah.
Wait, but the conservatives are saying that you want to ban that. Like, what do you mean? That's crazy.
I know. Fake leftist using a gas stove. FIFA basically incorporated scalping. Oh, I mean, it's basically Ticketmaster for concerts, except now that model's applied to sports, applied to the World Cup, of course.
Yeah, it's all
the same thing's
fucking-
happening with the Olympics here.
Yeah, it's everything has to be commodified to complete shit. It's got to be. Has to be. That's the
Yep.
environment we're in.
Paper is even trending again, but long gone are the days of the millennial gray floors and the white subway tile. Now, just like with all the whitewashing, if you try and update an old home in this way, people in the comments will absolutely tear you apart. There's nothing trendier than original hardwood floors, cotton doilies, and wool quilts, because at least they'll last a
That chandelier is cool. I love one like that.
lifetime. All of this to say, we are in a peak in shitification where the deliberate degradation of products and services has left little that feels appealing to newer generations.
You know, people say that it costs more to knit and sew your own clothes versus buying them. And as someone who does sew and knit everything that I wear, I strongly disagree. Like, yes, it may be cheaper for me to buy a tank top or a cardigan from Gap, Shein, Princess Polly, but what I buy from those stores will never meet my standards. For one, before I sew something or knit something, I get to research the fiber content and then the fabrics and the yarns that I'm using to know that they're going to be durable and last over time. Whereas if I bought a sweater from Gap, I could see what it looks like that first day when I buy it, but I don't know how it's going to look like after 5 years of wear.
And here's
Is
the
this,
thing, I know this
is this
doesn't-
female clothes autism Vosh? What the fuck? Because that's well, he said this all this exact same shit during the clothes autism arc, like unironically.
Man, he was trad wifing before it was cool.
Apply to everyone. We still have a lot of plastic garbage that Gen Z loves, like Nidos, I think they're the new trendy thing. But I really think that as time goes on,
What is that?
The fuck is an
buy it, but
garbage that Gen Z loves, like Nidos.
dude? Okay, that's like listen, that's pure TikTok bait, 1000 fucking %. Like,
Is this like a stress ball? I mean, I have a stress ball. I have a Kirby stress ball, right here.
No,
but
that's
yeah,
that's pure fucking TikTok bait. That shit right there. Like all the like temple run fucking autism and shit like that.
this is the Subway Surfer of stress balls.
No, it's alongside with the people who do the cutting of the soaps, the squeezing of like the tube with like the Play-Doh shit or something. People also squeeze like a bunch of like rubber like tomfoolery and shit like that. That's what that is. That's what that is.
Yeah, or like the hydraulic press videos. Like it's all in that same vein. Yeah.
I think are the new trendy thing. But I really think that as time goes on and quality continues to take a backseat, more and more people will start to prioritize this. And here's why. Again, with the Iran war, it's pretty impactful. Our merchandise is about to take a huge hit as the cost of direct materials like plastic, literally made from oil, goes up. So you can bet your bottom dollar that companies won't just raise prices, but cut corners. So many of the companies tracked viewed inflation pressures from outside.
Yeah, expect things to get a lot worse. Yeah, no. Like, what's funny? Not only myself, there's a few of my friends. Maybe again, this could be confirmation bias. It probably is. I'm biased, folks. Caught. But I've noticed not only myself, but a lot of people I know are like thrifting or updating their wardrobes or looking, sewing old clothes. Like they're doing all this stuff because they know in 6 months to a year, the clothes are going to be even worse, and they'd rather have a wardrobe that lasts and they can and that's flexible and they can put looks together from. Like that's kind of what I've been doing. Like last time I went to India earlier this year, before all this stuff started, and luckily my timing was like perfect. And yeah, I shopped for some clothes there. They're cheaper. My dollars stretch further there. So I did some clothes shopping, filled half a suitcase and brought it home. And so, yeah, and now it's like, oh, thank goodness, because now if I buy clothes a year from now, like, are they even going to last 2 washes? I don't know. Like, are they going to last a dry clean cycle? Probably not, Like one thing I've noticed, and I don't wear them often, but sometimes I wear when I used to go to the office, I used to wear, collared shirts and stuff. And I noticed that like collared shirts you get today, the stitching comes out pretty easily, or the thread, the buttons pop out, and they're horrible. And then I go back home to India and I get shirts there which have nicer patterns and colors. They still have whimsy over there because, it's India, of course, everything's colorful. So it's better. Like I don't have those issues. And the shirt costs half as much.
Because you have local textiles. That's why.
Exactly. Local textiles, artisans, everything's there.
It's a tradition. It's cultural.
Yep. So yeah, it's like most of my shirts now are not American. Caught. Yeah, I know. Not American. Not American fix.
Wait, but I'm supposed to. I'm bringing back manufacturing, though, Boy Meets Mini. You don't understand. You don't trust the plan, Boy Meets Mini. You don't trust it.
Yeah, and Zane, yeah, you can only afford thrifted clothes, and even thrifted clothes because of demand, the prices have inflated there as well, right? Because now there's demand, there's profits to be made, right? So, you're gonna buy clothes for the rest of your life. You probably, yeah, that'd be a wise idea. Or if you go to Japan or China, like clothes are like in. It's funny because clothes exported from China are like slop, right? You're talking Shein and some, Temu and some of those. But if you actually go to China and buy like higher end clothing, it's really really good textiles. I mean, they've had a textile industry for centuries, figures, right? Silk and all that. So, but yeah, millennia. Yeah, I mean, they've been doing it. So like if you go to China and buy like actual branded, really good clothing, it's gonna last you your whole life. So it's kind of an interesting thing that's happening there.
Shocks such as the war as an opportunity to raise prices and boost margins, which can in turn raise profits. Quote, I think we're actually going to get some good margin expansion. And so really all this war has is to accelerate the enshittification that was already underway. All the clothes that still have cotton in them will likely become fully polyester. Companies will take a note from IKEA's handbook and swap all particle board for cardboard, and all the metal parts in your appliances will slowly be replaced with plastic.
Tell me why I go into every store and everything is a poly blend, acrylic, lycra, literal plastic on your skin, and these companies are expecting you to pay top dollar, like $150, $200 for a sweater. For what? A piece of plastic? I am not paying top dollar for plastic.
So where does it end? Where's the breaking point where skimpflation and inflation collide? Well, I think it's coming soon, because the only real appeal of low-quality brands like Temu or H&M is that they're cheap, right? But once that disappears, so does the appeal. No one wants to buy garbage at a premium price, and eventually people will push back. We're already seeing it with fast food, where prices have climbed so much that it's no longer cheap, and people are opting out. And if that's the case, then we'll only see more
fucking like a fucking chicken nugget meal is so fucking much money. Like, why, bro?
Yeah.
Let me get some. Look, I'm investing my good boy points. Let me get some fucking nuggies. Why is it like $20? Actually, fucking insane.
Yep. And even like the places you go to, like right now, you have you said the shawarma's cheaper, or the biryani's cheaper. It's not going to be cheap anymore. Chicken.
Oh, they've been going
lamb,
up
mutton.
As well.
Yeah, and they have to just to keep to stay afloat. Yeah.
I don't blame them. I want to keep eating good shawarma. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
To traditional products and materials as they desperately search for anything that isn't disposable by design.
Final thoughts. We're finally here. We made it.
While the root of this movement is pretty dystopian, it's also at its worst harmless and maybe even good for the environment, because people becoming self-sustaining puts less stress on the system and decreases consumerism.
I'm still listen, solar punk, I'm telling you, solar punk, that's the fucking way, dude. I'm very curious.
Think so.
I think where does solar punk I think mostly fit into this? It's like my question, I'll be honest. Because
and how would you get there? Yeah.
All solar panels.
Yeah, of course. But I think Andrewism's done, like, because I mean they're an anarchist creator, but Andrewism has done some really good videos on like practical approaches to solar punk. So I don't know, that probably some future material to react to.
Feel like they need to start a garden because they're going to run out of food. I also hope that as people buy less and less low quality items, there will be a resurgence of higher quality new products. We've already seen this.
I don't think that'll be the case. This is going to take years to recover. There's not going to be higher quality for a long time.
Yeah, I don't like higher quality. It's too expensive. Like, I don't disagree with like the potential for aspiration here by Ashley. Like, I don't disagree with that whatsoever. But that's not happening. Like, it just doesn't make the money. And it's all about like, and like corporations have made it very, very clear what the goal is the rape the country to death deal. That's what they want to do. Just rape the country to death.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or linen clothing brand now. Mind you, they are expensive, but at least they're being created. I also even just saw an ad for a new furniture company whose products are made to grow with and pass down through the generations. Call me intrigued. Not a sponsorship. I'm just very interested. Again, mind you, very expensive, but at least it's existing. And that makes me happy. I just don't like how we've gotten to this point. That is all I have for you today. Make sure you subscribe.
Fair.
Anyway, that's everything for the video. But yeah, I think I'll give my final thoughts and let you give yours. But yeah, I think I mostly agree with the video. I just think that there's this expectation that things will get better soon for the majority of people. I don't know if it's soon. I think, like you said, I think there's going to be like a slow emergence of solar punk. And in what ways? I'd probably say more localized food production. I think the
Well,
problem
I
with
don't think
like
no, it's gonna
sorry.
be done. Yeah, it's gonna be done out of necessity. There has been unironic like
Mhm.
states already passing legislation to get those like small solar panels installed on people's houses. You know, like those ones to
Yeah.
save on energy costs. Like it's not like if we're talking about who's been one of the greatest advocates for green energy, Trump has been one of the greatest advocates for green energy in a long time.
Somehow, I mean, California has been doing it forever, but we've been. I've lived here for 10 years, and I've always had solar on my roof. So,
Why not?
our
Saves
apartment building has it.
saves on electricity. Why not just do it?
Yeah, in a sunny state, might as well. And we have a lot of wind power in the desert and stuff.
My parents, we have those on our fucking home. Like we have the solar panels, and half the time it's fucking cloudy and dark up here in Canada. We still have those
They
solar
still
panels.
work. Yeah, they're still getting like 70% of the sunlight, so through the clouds. So yeah, I mean it's worth it. But like the point is like, how do you get like, with the talk of like rising prices and everything, lower quality, and also like people trying to go back to this traditionalist aesthetic and all that. I feel like what's going to come out of it maybe is sort of another sort of pendulum swing, and I hope it swings towards solar punk because instead of individually having your own land, like people are going out and buying their own land and having their own this and own that, like you said, back in the ye old days, right? In like medieval Europe or I don't know, ancient South Asia, ancient China, right? People used to live in close-knit villages, and the land would be collectively worked. Obviously, it's under a feudal system; everything's under the ruler's hold or whatever. But like it was collectively shared to some degree, even if the king took the lion's share. But I feel like there's going to be a more sort of
even,
collectivized version of that
and
going
it's
forward.
like
I hope.
and I'm mostly like mentioning in terms of like if we're talking about that sort of thing, that's primitive accumulation right there, right? That's what it was before the advent of fucking agriculture and shit like that. It used to all be like communal villages and tribal villages working the land together as like a community.
Yeah, whereas rural America, everybody's so spread out, you need a car. Rural Europe is you have a little like a village town center, and then everybody goes out from there. So it's it's sort of a vestige of that time of primitive accumulation. So yeah, maybe do we start to shift more to that, but in a more libertarian, sort of sharing way rather than an authoritarian, the old authoritarian version. And do we have more localized manufacturing? Do we have like it would be interesting. What if we had like instead of what we have now, like this mass production of stuff, like we had guilds producing stuff more locally. That'd be cool. And also would people would learn those skills and do something productive rather than wasting their lives away in Excel spreadsheets in corporate offices. So maybe that is sort of the next steps. Hopefully, let's see. I'm curious to see how solar punk will manifest like in different parts of the world. Like I feel like it's probably easiest in Europe just because of the urbanism there. They have better urbanism. So it's probably the French will probably get to it first. La France, la France. They'll probably get to it first.
French
and the Germans, and then maybe the English. But yeah, like I don't know how it'll work here because everything is so paved over and isolated. I don't know. But yeah, that's sort of my thoughts on sort of not only the root causes of this and sort of hopefully I offered some background as far as like my own experiences growing up in like the 2000s and sort of what I've seen in Christian spaces. But, I do kind of agree with you that like the religious influence isn't as strong this time around. Right. In the 80s, it was super influential. In the 50s, it was like peak influential. Right. But now it's not really working because I think Gen Z is recognizing, oh, those institutions are also corrupt. The church wants my money. What the heck? I don't have any money. Right. So now the economics are running up against the institutions. And so, yeah, it's.
Listen, it says that dumbass James Carville himself said it's the economy, stupid. So it's like
even him.
Yeah, even
him.
Yeah, as much as I hate that motherfucker, he's correct.
Isn't he like a Republican or something? Or was?
No,
or
he's
I
don't
know.
Clintonite.
He's of course.
Yeah,
Anyways, But yeah, anyways, those are my final thoughts. And yeah, in seeing this video, I was like, yeah, I mean, just seeing all the other trends, around like thrifting, yearning for the 2000s, yearning for the 50s, yearning for the 1800s, for crying out loud, which that sucked. Living the 1800s sucked. I don't care who
Yeah,
you
don't
talk
live in
to.
the 1800s. 1800s is bad, guys.
No, not a good time. Not a good time.
It was a good, folks.
No, the Victorian era sucked. Yeah, those are sort of my final thoughts on it. And yeah, I hope we go towards solar punk. That is, I know, very radical lefty take. I'm gonna get canceled for it. Comment section. What do you think? Anyways, what do you think, Don?
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, it was a solid video. There's a lot of good points that were raised, yada yada yada. A lot of stuff that I can agree with. And, basically we'll just be like, yeah, totally, you're totally right there. I mean, listen, I think it's always nice to try to have some form of, like, aspirational, sort of, like, feel good, like, yeah, I mean, listen, if this thing can, sort of be used for good, I think it's, like, all fine and dandy and all that and whatnot. I think that's, like, fine and all that. I don't think it's going to get much better. I also think it's still probably going to get worse before it gets better. But, better to try to be
Probably a
positive.
generation.
Maybe.
Mhm.
I've said this before, but I think that there has to be, like, a Great Depression too before it honestly gets better. Like, I mean, listen, it's like Doomer Spiral, and that sounds really, really fucking terrible. But, like, honestly, the only other way for this to get better is to, like, have a metaphorical restart, like, unironically. Like, yeah, it's like, wow, Daho, that's fucking demonic, but it's just like, yeah, well, that's the current economic conditions that we find ourselves in. There has to be, like, a grand reset and somehow, like, a recognition to try to unfinancialize the economy, because there has to be something drastic and extreme that needs to be done to essentially stop, because that's what it purely is that has led us to be in this fucking position, is the financialization of the economy. Like, that's purely what it is.
And it's like, again, in the '08 crash, right? When the '08 crash happened and when the dot-com bust happened, right before that, it's like we keep trying to uphold these institutions that are the root of the problem to begin with, right? So the more you try to uphold them, the more frequent you're going to have crashes, the bigger the crisis becomes. And now we're seeing that. And I think Gen Z, despite Gen Z, a lot of them moving to the right politically or whatever, like you saw in the UK, a lot of young people voted for reform. And obviously there was also like an insurgent green movement, right? The Greens are gaining ground there as well simultaneously. So, but, with, even with that right wing, even the Gen Zers who are right wing, even they talk about like, oh yeah, maybe we shouldn't be so greedy. Maybe we should, rein the greed in some. And it's like they're starting to get, even they're getting the class consciousness. And there's obviously fallout from MAGA falling apart, literally. So I feel like that Gen Z fallout from MAGA is kind of also what we're seeing from this. So yeah. Yeah, like I kind of agree with you. Yeah, it has to get worse before it gets better. But that's the only way you're going to unfinancialize the economy is to let these too big to fail things fail, right?
Yeah,
so
it's the only way forward.
I hate to say it.
Yeah, you hate to say it, but that's literally the only path forward at this point.
That or a French Revolution. That or we all march out with our baguettes. I don't know. But I feel like it's too big scale of a problem to do that. Like the French Revolution was very localized, right? It was only to that region and to a particular regime. Now you're dealing with global capitalism. You're dealing with 190 countries. You're dealing with the UN. You're dealing with, complex trade relations and shipping routes. Like, good luck. Yeah, baguette will get crushed into that weight. So, sure. Yeah, no, yeah. You were born in '87. I was born in '89, but I was born halfway around the world. But yeah, '87 when when Reagan crashed the market. Yeah, Reagan and Thatcher.
Thank you, Reagan.
Yep. Anyways, yeah, thanks a lot, Reagan. You got us here. Now we got to deal with your mess.
Now we have to deal with the consequences. Fuck you, Reagan. Rotten hell, you stupid bitch. Fuck you, Thatcher. Suck my entire cock and balls. And we hate the financialization of the economy. And hopefully it gets better. It won't get better. It's going to have to get a lot worse before it gets any better. That's honestly the ultimate conclusion that I'm coming down to all of this. Like, it's good to feel like positive
Amen.
and try to have like a positive reformatory sort of stance to all this. I don't disagree with that, but dog, that's not going to be happening for a while.
It's not worth saving. Yeah, I agree. So that's all I had on this. So yeah, that's it.
Yep, I think I don't think there's really much else to say besides that. Thank you for being with me, Boy Meets Mini, on this adventure.